Tolu Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. It's our time. Can you feel the elevation? We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination. Together all the time together. It's us against the world, it don't get no better. We turned it around, that was the beginning. Coming for the crown, you know we winning. Time to put in the work, I'm about to go for stuff. Taking our prisoners, it's my time. Yeah, I know that it hurts. Tearing back on the church, you don't wanna see me in my prime. The mission is to ring, we're caught in everything. In the city, supporting the dream. Reaching new heights never seen, we deserve to be king. It's all or nothing, no in between. The clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The doggone body's crippling. Now the clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The doggone body's crippling. Live to the elevation. We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination.
Detroit basketball. What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Downtown Dude Show with the Boss. Hope you all are having a great Thursday night. Boss, how are you feeling tonight?
I feel good. It's been a roller coaster of a day, but overall, I feel good.
Okay. We see you guys in the chat, man. You see you guys are already live in the chat, so we are going to do our best to get to as many comments as possible. Y'all know the drill. If we miss you, make sure you repost, caps lock, super chat, whatever you guys want to do to get our attention. Go ahead and do that. It's probably going to be a busy night tonight with all the news we got today, so we'll do the best we can, but just do what you can to get our attention and we'll get to you. So speaking of which, by now, guys, I'm sure you heard the news about Cade Cunningham and him being sidelined with a collapsed lung. We are going to get to all of that. All right, We're going to get to that, but we are going to talk about tonight's game first against the Wizards. And we're going to dive into that after. So stick around for that. In case you guys missed this game tonight, the Pistons faced off once again against the Washington Wizards. And they go 2 for 2. They pick up their second straight win in Washington. It's kind of a weird little scheduling thing there, but they were able to pick up both wins back-to-back in Washington. And guys, the Pistons, for the first time in 18 years, have won 50 games. The last time... Yeah, man. Yeah, the last time this happened was in 2008, the 2007-2008 season, which was the last time they advanced past the first round. And they went on to go to the Eastern Conference Finals that year before losing to the eventual champion Boston Celtics. That team that year, guys, finished with 59 wins. So not sure if this team is going to get to 59 this year, but who cares? Because they accomplished something that hasn't been done in nearly 2 decades. So shout out, first of all, to the Pistons. I know we got some bad news, but at least I don't want this to get lost in the additional news, because this is important. It's a big accomplishment, really, really big for this team.
No, it can't get lost. And the big news, guys, I mean, again, it's fresh. It needs a little bit to settle in. I think we've all had at least a day, too, and we'll talk about it more. But 50 wins, it makes me emotional. It's been 18 years. It's really cool to see, and these guys deserve it, all of them. The Pistons are now 6-2 without Cade, which is a little bit of a glimmer, with the news. And I'm very proud of what we did tonight. There were, it was a little bit clunky in the middle there, but
Yeah.
overall, these guys all pulled their weight. It was, team basketball. We started great. We actually, finished the halftime by 8. With our last game, we were up by only 6 at halftime. So, we kind of played a little better in that aspect, but we cannot let the 50 wins go unnoticed. We're the first in the East to do it.
Mm-hmm.
We back up by 4 over the Celtics. This team got the news themselves, had to play the same team that, Cade went down against. So a little bit of a mental thing there, but I'm extremely proud and I'm so excited. I can't wait to, celebrate it a little bit more once some of the other news settles in a bit.
The dust settles a little bit. Yes, 100%.
And just to say that real quick too, I think if you guys didn't hear, Johnny Kane did a quick segment on JB, and JB said his I think it was his grandmother had a mantra that was just basically like find the joy. Yeah. And it's something that we should all take into account this whole season, because we've been in first place. We had a 4-game losing streak, like through these things, like find the joy. And so today's find the joy is that our team came together and pulled off our 50th win without our two-time All-Star. So that's the joy for today, and something we have to continue to do as, the whole team has to navigate this sudden change.
Yeah, for sure, because it is a sudden one. Let's get to some quick comments and then we'll keep it moving. Devon says, hot take, Pistons will stay number 1. Cade will come back and be eligible for awards. Then Deuce will sing, they forgot about Cade. They forgot about Cade. Hey, money lovers forgot about, you know what it is, bro. Hey, if you guys want, I can end it, the outro with the forgot about Cade instead of the dog pound if y'all want. So let me know what y'all want. Dog pound or forgot about Cade. Y'all let me know. But Devon, I agree. Let's see. What other comments do we have here? Oh, 2 more. One from Blackheart says, Mr. Only, they're getting started early. Mr. Only played 5 minutes and scored with a steal. Steal coach. Go Woo. For sure. Again. And then Scooby Snack says, I was in high school last time. Bro, me too. I graduated in 2004. One of the best years of my life, for sure. So
I got a too real quick from Stella. Yes, I was thinking that earlier to us this year. Our guys have been balling. I'm so proud of us.
Smell the roses.
Games. Yep.
It's a big deal, man. It's a big deal. It's something to definitely be excited about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So look, as far as the injury report, we kind of already talked about it a little bit, but Isaiah Stewart, he's still out. He's going to be out for a little minute with the MCL strain. No timetable yet, but he's going to be reevaluated, I think, next week, so we'll know more then. And of course, Cade Cunningham is out indefinitely, guys, with a collapsed lung. And as we mentioned, we're going to get to that, more as we get into the show. And as far as the Wizards, boss, they're missing Trae Young, Cam Whitmore, Keyshawn George, and of course, Anthony Davis, who's always out, D'Angelo Russell. But Alex Sarri did return tonight. And after JD's performance last game, I don't blame him, but it didn't really matter. We'll get to that too. As far as the starters, guys, with Cade out, the Pistons went with a starting 5 of Daniss Jenkins, Duncan Robinson, Ausar Thompson, Tobias Harris, and Jalen Duren. And guys, the poll is officially live as to who you guys believe should be the X Factor. Who was the X Factor in this game? We know JD had another monster performance, and he probably would have more, really would have stuffed the stat sheet even more had he not left the game early, which is kind of interesting. Hopefully he's okay. But that was a player of the game, in my opinion. So you guys let us know who you guys think is the X Factor. Boss, between Kevin Huerter, Caris LeVert, Paul Reed, and Duncan Robinson, who do you think was the X Factor in this game tonight, if you had to pick?
Man, there's solid cases for all of them. Oh, this is hard to pick. I think my gut instinct is to say Paul Reed, just because I saw him, step it up in moments, and, he defended his teammate. Yep. He just really locked in. But also, I'm very proud of what Huerter and LeVert have been able to do. These are their best games with us this season, respectively. So they all pretty much get my vote. I might say, God, I don't know. Huerter had
tough, ain't it?
Huerter was hitting threes. B-ball was at the boards, finishing shots. That's hard. That's a tough one.
That's a good one.
25% all of them.
I ain't mad at that. Yeah. So we'll check back on that as we get deeper into the show, guys. Boss, without further ado, we got a lot to get to, so I'm going to try to move this along. Let's get to some initial thoughts, and let me know what you saw in this game before we dive into some box scores and stuff like that. What'd you see in this game tonight?
Yeah, oh my gosh, I loved the start of the game. It was fantastic. We were moving the ball, but at the end of the first, I think everybody had recorded a score or an assist. Everyone had recorded a board, and then they got either the assist or the scoring. 8 guys scored. 8 guys with rebounds, and then there was 10 assists in the first. So I love that start. The second, we fell off a little bit. I think it was a combination of the Wizards started hitting their shots, and then Jason Goebel was one of the refs tonight. The Goebel brothers are famously
back at it
villains because JB called them out personally on their bias towards our team. So I think the Wizards had something shift their way that also just helped their flow of the game. But then once we were able, they went on a run, cut it to 6. And then once we got back up to 10, 12-point lead, we maintained it. I'm fine with that. If you can maintain a lead that comes back, that still speaks volumes too. We didn't let them get close again once they did originally for a quarter, and then in the third, and then we just took off in the fourth and got the 23-point lead or win. So to me, it was just a lot of team ball. There were a couple guys that I think need to shake off some stuff for next game, but very impressed. Everybody, truly everybody contributed to this win and played with all their heart. So loved it. I added, you guys know about my boards. I have a bad board and a good board, and Tristan Vucevic was the first one I added to my bad board this season because I did not like that man's demeanor. You know me. If you're gonna play tough and physical and a little dirty, own it. If you're gonna play tough and physical and dirty, be like, what did I do? Then I don't like you.
Yeah.
So
that's that Grayson Allen syndrome.
Did appreciate that. And I know it was getting under Blaha's skin as well because he was calling off.
He was roasting them. It was hilarious.
Yeah, the Wizards bench when they're all laughing, giggling, haha. Well, it's like
he was like, I don't know if I'd be laughing that hard if I didn't have if I only had 15 wins on the season.
Well, yeah, I had that many losses, and that's exactly how I felt about Trey Johnson didn't mean to, deflate Cade Cunningham's lung, but when then you're coming in and you're throwing shoulders and you're pulling guys down, it's like, come on, stop it. Yeah. And then you're going to the bench and laughing about it. No, I don't like it. So, but it felt good to get the over 20-point win after all that. All those.
They can have all the copium in the world. They can laugh, but at the end of the day, we got the dub and we got it convincingly, so they can keep laughing if they want.
Absolutely.
For me, I always look at certain things, as far as the box score, as far as from a team standpoint, were the Pistons playing to their identity? So we're going to run through those. Points in the paint, we're going to start with that. 66 edge to 26 for the Pistons. 66 to 26. That's what I'm talking about. Fast break points, 21 to 6. Love it. Rebounds, 56-35. Excellent. Assists, 32 to 20. So they really pretty much dominated in the areas they want to dominate. They played big. They played strong. They dominated the paint. They did all the things that this team does best. The reason this game wasn't a 20-point game earlier is just that, once again, they didn't sustain it through 4 quarters. That's the one thing we've talked about. They either start great and fade late and let their foot off the gas, or the opposite, right? And have to try to come back with their bench and things like that. So that's the only thing I'm really paying attention to right now as far as a negative. We know these teams are beatable even without Cade, without Stu. We know we can still beat these teams. But we got to continue to try to do for 48 minutes. We can't have these lapses. That's the only thing. They understood the assignment early. I really thought they committed. Sense of urgency was there. They set the tone. They hit first. All the things we talk about, make them call the first time out. Something they really haven't done a lot lately. But tonight it was the opposite. They got up to a quick lead, did it with their defense, got out and ran, held the Wizards to 14 first quarter points while they scored 35. That's a Pistons quarter. That's you can't really ask for more when it comes to how they played and how they showed up on the scoreboard. So that was great. But it just shows you when they lock in, they can beat anybody, especially when they play defense. It's always the defense. Without Cade, it's still the defense. And offensively, the ball was moving. They were sharing it. It was not just one guy looking to score. Everybody was moving. A lot of ball movement, player movement. Just really looked like the offense was flowing very, very well. So I thought they started off great. They just, once again, got to make sure they maintain it. They can't allow a 25-point lead in the second quarter to get cut down to 8 by halftime.
Right.
You just can't afford to do that. Against good teams, they're going to come back and they're going to sneak up on you and beat you.
Yeah.
So you can't afford to. So they got to get those habits right now. They got to get in the habit of doing that now because, they're gearing up for the playoffs. And that's all that really matters right now. So they got to keep an eye on that for sure.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think, a positive on that aspect is that they did make the right adjustments at a halftime. Like I said, they didn't necessarily go off in the third, but they maintained a double-digit lead mostly throughout. They didn't let them get back close and then just finished it off well. So that's, again, when you when you fall short, when that happens, you just hope that you can bounce back right away. And so, yeah, that had me feeling much better about the second quarter, kind of giving it away for them. I mean, we said it last time, the Wizards, they have some guys who can shoot. Like they have some guys who it almost feels like they don't miss.
They do. They got guys who can score.
Yeah.
It was so many times I was like, come on, bro. Like, come on, bro.
I know.
But maybe I should give those guys a little bit more credit, right? Trey Jones was sixth pick in the draft when he was drafted. So he's definitely a talented player. It's just I haven't really paid them a lot of attention. So maybe I should pay them more attention because they got scores for sure. They got a lot of scoring.
There's Johnson, and then there's who was the other one that got off today? There was Hardy, of course, had a good game.
Yeah.
What's his name? Oh, Sharif Cooper, who didn't have a huge game last time. He had it later on, had a good one today. Vucevic had 21 points, Will Riley, he had 15, but it felt like we kept him way more quiet than we did last game. So, and I don't even think our defense fell a little bit in the second, but I don't even think our defense was necessarily that bad. They were able to make threes from, 4 feet behind the line or a couple shots at the buzzer. So, wow, we do need to improve in that area too. These guys, they're confident in their shots and it shows. They had a couple guys shoot, like Vucevic was almost 90%. Watkins was 50. Hardy was 50. Trey Johnson was 50. And that's on like over, double-digit field goals attempted. So
yeah, Bob Carrington too. As Kevin said, he's also a really talented player. They got some talent over there, man.
I like him, but then that smile too, it just ticked me off after he pulled him down. I was like, and because I also don't think it was like the whole Wizards bench coming up and basically being on the court pointing at him. I'm like, but Duncan wasn't even I guess you just it wasn't like you got dunked on kind, because Duncan just seemed a little bit unaware. He's just like, let me make sure I don't hurt you kind of thing. Yeah. But it wasn't like that
was weird. Like
it was, I guess, an okay reaction. I don't know. It was strange.
Kenyatta says, now that's the way you beep Tobias Harris over me. That's a bar for your next person, next Pistons. Say, come on. I'm gonna keep that in mind. I got a new record coming for y'all for the postseason. So I may work that into the next one after that, Kenyatta. We'll see. But I appreciate the bar for sure. I'll give you 10%. Let's get to some super chats, boss, and then we will get into some individual box scores, and then we will keep it moving and get to the topic of the night, which everybody wants to get to. So we'll get to that. Yes. Let's start with Doug. Doug coming through says magic number is 9. Cade would want us to fight. Yes, for sure, man. So the number's getting smaller and smaller. The Pistons should still be able to tread water, I think, even with Cade out, if they get contributions like they did tonight from everybody. So I think they'll hold on, Doug. I think they'll definitely hold on for sure, and definitely Cade. I know it's got to be hard for him watching right now. So, it's nice for the guys to be able to get some dubs without him, to just give him more confidence, put more confidence in our franchise guy that, we got his back. Yes. Alan Graham says, love that our guys stepped up tonight, especially on exactly, bro. Exactly. That's why I started that 14 first quarter points. When they want to, they can lock in. The offense becomes so much easier when you're able to get stops, because everybody can score in transition. Everybody can. It's just the half court sometimes that struggles, right? So if we're able to get stops, we're not in half court as much, which means we can get out and run. So, Alan, it always starts with the defense, my brother, for sure. Mark Wilkinson 2668 says the depth of this team showed up. Do it for Cade the rest of the season. Yeah, y'all on the same page tonight, man, for sure. Let them write us off. We love being underestimated. Thanks for the pod. Appreciate you, Mark, and I totally agree, man. It's always Detroit versus everybody, bro. We saw Boss actually send it to me, Stephen A. Smith and everybody already saying there's no way we're going to do anything without Cade, which it's just crazy how dramatic and how quickly, like as soon as we got the news about Cade being out, it seemed like 5 minutes later I saw all this stuff on YouTube. Like, how did y'all upload this fast? How did y'all even know? Like, they couldn't wait. They couldn't wait to have something to say about the Pistons, man. It was crazy.
Well, that's like NBA on ESPN an hour later was like, with Cade gone, who's going to take first in the East? It's like, no, us. Like, and here's the thing is like, of course, like there's some precedent that obviously we're a better team with Cade on the floor. Yes, this is true. I don't think we could win the NBA finals without Cade. So to Stephen A. Smith point.
He's right. He's just dramatic.
But it's dramatic because they said reevaluate in 2 weeks. We have a month until playoffs.
Right.
So like right now, and we'll talk about it more, but right now he's looking on positively, he's still on track to make the first round of the playoffs. So, and these people have been telling us with Cade, they've been telling us all season that we're still first round exits. We're still first round exits. They don't have help, so they're first round exits. It's like, okay. And now Cade's out, and they're like, well, they're first round exits. So it's like, well, what do you? Okay.
DVE, everybody, as you guys know, Detroit versus. That's why I always say at the end of every pod, Detroit versus. It's more than just a saying. I mean that. I mean that ish. Seriously, because it's something I've lived with my entire life, dealing with Detroit sports, especially Pistons. Well, Lions too, but we're talking Pistons. So yeah, it is what it is. Let them keep talking. We're just gonna keep winning and doing what we do. Boss, let's get to some individual box scores and keep this train moving, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go ahead and yes, Kevin, I do agree for sure. Learn how to play together. This is great for the other guys to get acclimated. Let's get to some box scores, boss. Let's start with Daniss Jenkins, who started in place tonight of Cade Cunningham. Tonight, guys, Daniss Jenkins finished with 9 points. Man, 3 for 16. He could not buy a hoop tonight. Sheesh. Man, 2 of 7 for 3. 1 of 1 from the free throw line, 2 boards, 5 assists, and no turnovers, which is great. 1 block in 34 minutes, boss. What did you see tonight from Tink?
So I love that we had 32 assists, which is incredible because they're all spread out. However, I do want to see Daniss get some more playmaking. He had an incredible first quarter. And then he kind of lost his shot there, and it felt like he was trying to get it back, and not necessarily to the detriment of our team, but there was about 4 or 5 possessions in a row where he just tried to get his own basket, whether he made it himself or the ball came back to him. And when it wasn't falling, and I understand, because you know your shot was just falling, and if you're mentally are like, no, I can get this, you want to help the team in that way. So I think just a slight adjustment for tomorrow night would just to be, you know, you're going 3 of 16. Once you're starting to miss some, like let's move the ball a little bit more. I think he was missing a couple, and then he went out, and this was in the third, I believe. And then Sass came in, and the ball was moving a little bit more. But I heard JB yell like move, 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 because that was like in the first quarter, the ball movement was amazing. We got 10 assists in 1 quarter. And so I'm not just saying it was just, you know, Sass's difference, but it was just an adjustment overall. And then when Jenkins came back in, his 3 was hitting. He got to the free throw line a little bit back. So obviously the no turnovers is huge. I'm still very confident with him out there as our main ball handler with Cade gone. He plays very good defense. I thought he played great defense. He had no steals, which is usually something that he registers, but he did have a block on Cooper on the perimeter today. I think it ended up leading to a Washington basket anyways, but we appreciate the effort always. So I liked what I saw from Jenkins. I think he started off the game very confidently. And like I said, I think the slight adjustment would be like, we just can't have a 3 from 16 game anymore. Just more so, you know, if you're going to do 3 of 16, I'd like to see somehow you also get closer to 9, 10 assists. Cause that just shows me, you know, he's got to share the ball a little bit more when it's not falling, but that's truly it. And he made that adjustment mid game. So, and I think he'll have similar notes from coach going into tomorrow. And he'll just be able to trust his instincts a little bit better there.
Yeah. I was frustrated a little bit just because, like, the shots he missed, it wasn't like he took a ton of bad shots.
He missed the dunk.
But it was just a lot of makeable shots that I'm used to seeing him make that he just couldn't knock down. I think 16 shots is a lot for him. I want to see him looking to be more of a facilitator. I think he is doing a better job. Like you mentioned, late in this game, he started hunting a little bit. But I think early he really did a good balancing act as a floor general of just getting guys involved and then just taking what was there for himself. Defensively, I thought he was really good, though. He didn't have any steals, but he was very scrappy. He was very disruptive. He forced guys into a lot of tough shots. He rotated well. He was in there with the trees, battling, trying to get rebounds, just doing a lot of little things again. So we always say, boss, if you're going to play 34 minutes, you only got 9 points, what else are you doing? And I feel like he did a lot of other things very well. Aside from his shooting, I thought he played really well. Yeah. That was the only thing. So, like, with Cade gone, we understand that it's not going to be just one guy who's going to be able to replace everything that Cade brings. It's just not going to happen. Cade's an MVP level player, right? So it's going to take everybody collectively to up their play. But I will say this. I have my eye right now on Daniss Jenkins, boss, because he's going to be the captain of the ship now. Look at me. I'm the captain now. That's him right now. He's the point guard. He's the floor general. So we're probably gonna, and we've seen it already. We're gonna see some Marcus Sasser. We're gonna see some Caris LeVert at the backup point at times. But Daniss right now, guys, is the only true point guard on the roster that's available. He's the only one. So he's got a real opportunity now to really prove why the Pistons signed him to that contract. So I think he's going to be able to hold down the fort, in Cade's absence, because he's shown more times than not when he's called upon that he can get it done. I'm just hoping, boss, that we can continue to get solid play from Marcus Sasser, Caris LeVert, our only real other options we have at point guard, but they're not point guards. So I'm just hoping that we get consistent play from them, when we need them to be facilitators, when Daniss is on the bench or getting a blow, whatever. I hope those guys can consistently just hold the fort down and kind of weather the storm, while we got Cade out. So we'll see, but it was a good start tonight.
Yeah, exactly. And then, I think again, he was just trying to get himself into a rhythm on a few possessions that just drove up his field goal attempts, but he finished the game strong. He started the game strong, and I have no doubt, he was frustrated too. So I think he takes this obviously all very seriously. So I expect, he was in a little bit of a slump with the team, and then he came out of it and was looking good. And then we didn't see him for a few games, and then and now he's back in. So I don't have any doubts about him finishing this out strong. I think tonight, even like he fed some people before he made his own shot. And like I said, it was falling early, and then it wasn't falling in the middle. So just gotta shake some of that off. It even one of the layups, I was like, oh, he's finally this is gonna be the one where
the layup was crazy. Like he just couldn't. It was a lid on the rim. Like, bro,
exactly. I was like, how do you even he was shocked. I think everyone was surprised. So you just have games like that, and he's not a guy who puts up 16 shots on the regular. Even if he's having a bad shooting night, it's closer to 2 of 8 or something at worst. He's had an 0 of 8 game, but a 16, but he's just trying to
a few too many shots.
He's trying to be what's missing, which is Cade's constant, facilitator and a constant scorer for us. So he's just trying to figure out that balance and just make sure he doesn't harm the team. So I
that's
expect
the thing too. Like they're all trying to figure that out on the fly.
Right.
So there's going to be sometimes when guys take a shot that probably isn't the best shot because they're all trying to figure out how much of the load that Cade is left that they have to all individually pick up. And that's not going to happen overnight, right? So you're going to see guys be more aggressive, miss shots at times, they'll figure it out, file it away for next time. So it's just going to take time. I think they can still win games despite it. But I like how they're all trying to, within the flow of the offense and within the team concept, just try to be more aggressive. Devon says, go DJ. Tyler said, that's my DJ.
I love it.
But the biggest thing for me with him real quick, and then we'll move on, is just his defense and his taking care of the basketball. Those are the two biggest things. When I see the shot, the shot diet isn't great, but defensively, that's who we are. And he's always bringing that. He's always pushing the pace. And he's taking care of the basketball. 5 assists and no turnovers. That's great. That's what I expect to see from Daniss Jenkins. He could have had a ton more. Once again, just guys couldn't hit shots at times. He was setting guys up all night, really. He should have had 8 or 9 easily. But guys couldn't hit shots. But it is what it is. I thought overall he played really, really solid. So we're going to need more of that from him for sure if we're going to hold on to this lead and just keep playing good basketball. So good game. I thought overall, aside from the shooting, I still thought he played the point guard position pretty well. So we'll leave it there, boss. Guys, let's move on now to Duncan Robinson. Tonight, guys, Duncan Robinson finished with 14 points on 5 for 10 shooting, 4 of 9 from 3, which is great. That's what I want to see, the volume and the efficiency. 5 boards, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, and a block from Duncan Robinson, boss. A block from Duncan Robinson. I don't know what's going on. In 25 minutes, take off from what you saw from Dunk.
And he blocked Gil, who hell is real. Keeps asking about. Well, first of all, just real quick, Gil. He's on the Wizards. He got in foul trouble last game. If you want a Wizard player, there's about 6 others in front of him I would take over Gil. So I'm not sure
I don't know who that was. I'm like, who is Gil?
Yeah, he was the guy who started. He was starting center. He was starting center last game against Duren, the 6'7" guy. But yeah, he blocked Gil, which was awesome. He started off really good. He was 4 of 7 and 4 of 9. So he lost his shot a little bit towards the end. But again, like you said, would rather see him 4 of 9. He was around that 2 or 3 area for a while. So love to see that. 5 of 10 overall. 5 rebounds is also huge. Just, pulling his weight with Cade gone. So I liked what I saw. I thought that what he did tonight was great. So 14 points is nothing to scoff at, and it wasn't even, I would even say, his best game, you know, at
It's
27
up there.
minutes.
It's a good game.
27 minutes too, and it just goes to show, like, especially with Cade gone, he's definitely going to probably play over 30 minutes more. So I think he would have even contributed more to his stats. But I'm happy with it tonight, and I'm loving his. I loved after the little scuffle, everybody in our group chat was talking about, you know, they got to hold Duncan back. He's gonna run the court. You know,
Gotta make up for Charlotte, bro.
yeah,
a lot of making up to do for Charlotte, bro. We ain't forgot.
They're giving him some options. So yeah, solid performance from Duncan tonight.
Yeah, I agree, man. I thought most important, like the block was crazy. I was not expecting that at all. But most importantly, he did a good job, I thought, offensively, of just mixing it up. Right, he was knocking down shots, and he was very aggressive with his shot. That's one thing I've been talking about, like the 1 for 2, 2 for 3, 2 for 4. Like, I need him to get up more shots, right? And so tonight, to see 4 for 9, even if he doesn't make 4 or 5, just to get him up, right? Because he's our only true sniper in that starting unit. So I like the volume. I like the aggression. I like how he's looking for his shot, and he's not hesitating at all. I know it's just the Wizards, not a great defense, but still, you got to take him when it's there, right? And this is a good opportunity to kind of start doing that. So did my eyes deceive me, guys? Or did we actually see a sequence of a Duncan Robinson block and a Kevin Huerter dunk? That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy, right? Like that, that was not on my bingo card. I was not expecting to see that happen, especially like on back-to-back plays. Like defense to offense. I'm not expecting to see defense to offense with Kevin Huerter and Duncan Robinson. I'm just not. More so Duncan Robinson. But I just, once again, everybody's buying in. Everybody's buying into the style of play of defense to offense. So that was a nice sequence to see for sure. So yeah, I thought Duncan was good, man. Like 14 points. That's if we could get 14 from him a game, we're in good shape. We probably won't, but if we can't, because that's like Malik Beasley numbers. But if we can get something, if we can get double digits from him the rest of the year, double digit scoring, or just at least double digit looks, double digit shot attempts, because we need him to shoot the ball. We need him to shoot the basketball. So if we're getting that from him like we did tonight, I'm cool. So yeah, I got nothing on Duncan.
He's been really good at finishing at the rim. So the more that he makes these threes, the more the teams are forced to close out on him.
Facts.
And then he can, we saw the other night his little pump fake face, like, he knows how to get there. He knows how to throw the defense off to not block it. So I do think that we will see Duncan step up in certain areas as well. Not that he was ever lacking, but like I think, what did they say the stat was? Cade either scored or assisted on 36% of all Pistons points this season. That's crazy. So to me, that just tells me there's 36% of points up for grabs, whether that's you facilitate it or you go get it. So these guys, it's a little bit of a blessing that these guys just kind of get a little bit more just
opportunity.
Permission to create their game and help the team. And again, I think that's just a positive thing in the long run. So
yeah, I'm hoping it's like the Peyton Watson thing when Jokic went out and Peyton Watson just like he had to shoulder more of a load, and he's like, wow, I didn't know he could do all that. I thought he was just a defensive guy. I'm hoping we get something to that extent conceptually when it comes to all these other guys who are getting more opportunities. So when Cade comes back, they can do a little bit more when called upon.
Yeah, that's like, I always love the stat of the Nuggets they drafted him for defense. They didn't even know that he had it in him. And he was averaging 3 points coming out of college, and he is averaging 20 points this season.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy. So, and I think, a little bit of like, I can see like a little bit of the Paul Reed's shock in him. Not necessarily like we know what Paul Reed can do, but like the things he continues to shock us with, like his footwork, his jump shot, things like that. So, that would be awesome if we could just see some of these other guys grow their game, which JB did talk about before too. He's like, these guys, we just want them to play their game, but also challenge themselves to grow in other areas of the team. So.
And that's what this is all about. So it's going to be mistakes throughout because they're being used to playing with him for most of the year. So it's going to take time to figure out their role and their place. Kind of get their footing as far as what should be expected of them now that he's gone. So it's going to take time, but I think we'll be all right. All right. Boss, let's keep it pushing. Let's go now. Yeah, he did, Mike. He did. He did some good things. Playmaking was
becoming kind of a regular thing.
It is.
He tends to run the transition very well when he's out there too. It's usually like Cade and Duren. So he's there to help facilitate as well on those.
Yeah, he gets behind that line. If that's not there, he's putting on the floor and making something happen. So I like it. Man. Keep it up, Dunk. Boss, let's now go to Ausar Thompson, guys. Tonight, guys, in this game, Ausar Thompson, Tasmanian Thompson, finished with 10 points, On 3 for 6 shooting, 4-4 from the free throw line, 4-4 from the free throw line. Let's go, Ausar.
Yeah, I know.
9 boards. Let's go, Ausar. 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 1 steal, and 2 blocks for 3 stocks. Let's go, Ausar. That seems to be the norm whenever he plays. All that in 22 minutes. So he's still not playing a ton of minutes, but still getting stuff done, boss. What'd you see?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, the most noticeable thing is the 4-4 free throws, because he's probably the person on the team I would least want to be shooting free throws. But it was good because he was getting to the basket a few times and he either got it blocked or, like we've said, there were a couple times he was running towards the basket and I was like, oh, this is going to be a dunk, just the way he was running. And then he would just go for a layup and it would either be a block
I want
or
him to break a backboard, bro. Like to be
like,
that athletic and then just to lay it up. Like this is nitpicking. But he's so athletic, bro. He could have so many top 10 highlights if he wanted to.
Truly. But in the first thing I noticed was he had great help defense. They were just like, so Sar had a terrible game. I think he made 1 basket. He was on a minutes restriction, but he was just awful. And he's a guy that has been averaging 50% field goals, 17 points a game for them this season when he's healthy. So still a threat for the Wizards. But there was a time where I think on one of the first possessions that Sar got it down low and JD was there and Ausar just ran over.
Yep.
And Sar just completely missed the basket because of Ausar's presence. Ausar.
Exactly.
Yeah. Ausar's presence.
Ausar on Ausar.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then he had a block on Sar later in the first.
Oh my God.
That beautiful one. I mean, that was the
what
one
was
that
he thinking?
I was sitting there. I was like, oh, we're just gonna we're just gonna have a chill night, enjoy the game. It's been a tough day for Pistons fans. And then he made that block and I just stood up. I was like, here we go. Ausar is back. And the stat line,
volleyball, that was crazy.
I mean, like you said, 10 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. Like, that's beautiful. Of course, we're excited to have Ausar maybe produce a little bit more offense, but the defense spoke for itself. And I was so close to a double-double. Man, he definitely deserved one tonight. And he had in the third, he had that chase down. He chased down a rebound and the reverse layup. And
that was pretty.
We've seen him like twinkle toes the line a few times this season, and he kept it in that time as well. I feel like that's just one of his moves now, is he just knows how to do it. So if he just can finish a couple more of those shots at the rim, he would just be like top tier.
That's where I'm at.
But compared to where this is his 3rd game back from injury. And the first few games, he just didn't look like himself. And tonight, the passion was there. It was all just there. He was, energized. He was, thought he got fouled. He was fighting for rebounds. He just looked more mentally in the game, which is this is the game that we, needed him to like snap into it, get motivated again, really get going. So if he continues that, I mean, again, he's back in the stocks. He only had 1 steal tonight, which is crazy. I know he disrupted a few. He had one at the end of the game where he tipped it up and Huerter grabbed it. I think Huerter got credit with that steal, but so just disruptive, and we know what he can do. So if this is his best game since being back, I expect kind of the same amount of numbers, but the steals to go up, honestly. But loved it from Ausar.
It's just nice to see his defensive impact didn't go anywhere. Like, we know offensively, it's going to be a work in progress. It's going to be a work in progress, maybe for the next year or 2, right? And it is what it is. But it doesn't take long for him to make an impact defensively. And for him to only be back his first game, he was kind of like just getting cardio. His first, I always say, first game back, I'm not judging anybody. I said it with Caris, I said it with other guys. Like, I just don't do that. But the last 2 games, he's really started to find his way defensively, just ways to be impactful, like he always has. Like, I agree with Kevin. Like, it was a tale of 2 halves for him. First half, he really wasn't that impactful. Like, he had some easy point blank shots, mid range, like 5 feet away. He just missed, couldn't knock it down. But a few guys did tonight. But it was just some point blank shots. I'm like, come on, sorry, I need you to finish that, bro. I need you to just put that in the hoop, bro.
Yes.
He wasn't able to do that. Second half was much better. He looked much more comfortable. Of course, we were in transition more, so he was able to really get out and run, which is what he likes to do. Had a nice finish where he put a little English on the ball with the right hand, left hand off the glass. So he was doing some nice things. But that's all I really have for him. Like, I thought he didn't take a ton of shots. The ball wasn't sticking with him. He was moving without the basketball, just doing our stuff, being a Swiss Army knife. But I wanted to get to this quickly because I think it was Devin asked this question. He says, Deuce, do you think Ausar can run point to change up the lineup? I don't think he'll get a ton of reps there, but I think he'll get some. I still want the ball in Daniss Jenkins' hand for sure. First play of the game, Ausar brought it up and turned it over.
Dribbled off his foot.
Off his foot, unforced. So once again, he just got back. Like, he wasn't doing that prior to his injury. I'm gonna give him credit. He wasn't doing like the last couple months before he was actually looking a lot more comfortable with the basketball, not shooting the ball, but just more comfortable running the offense, not moving, not running too fast, not moving at too fast of a pace. He was just kind of playing within himself, and so that was what I hope he's gonna get back to. I don't think Devin, I want to see him doing that right now. Even though we only have Daniss as our point guard, I want him to just be more so of just a cutter, a mover, a generator of his own offense off of his defense. Just focus on that end for now as he gets warm, gets back into it. But I think at times, when Daniss needs a blow, if Marcus isn't playing well or Caris isn't, on ball, whatever, you can mix it in there. Yeah. But not primarily, I don't think. For me.
I trust him. I do trust him with it. Like, I don't want it to be inbounded. I don't want a half court, but especially in transition now, I definitely trust him to grab the ball or to be a guy that they can outlet to bring it up. And I just want to address this question real quick too. What's with the minutes though? When last did AT play 30 minutes? Yeah, 24 minutes is low, which is honestly even more impressive for the stat line because we've seen him get this stat line in like over 30. But tonight, every starter except for Jenkins played under 30 minutes, and the next most Robinson at 27. So it was just more spread out. And we're also coming on I think it'll be more beneficial tomorrow since we are on a back-to-back. So I don't think it's anything like bad or anything, or that they're bringing him in slowly or nothing like that. I think it's just the starters got to get some rest tonight, especially the way that we finished the second. We finished the fourth. So
agreed. Stella wants to see him dunk on more people. So do I. Kevin says, I don't want to start doing things he has to think about doing out there. Right, exactly. Like when the ball comes back to him with 8 seconds left to go, and he's like, should I pass? Should I shoot? Should I take it to the right? Exactly. Just be instinctive. Just play like himself. Be Tasmanian Thompson. Exactly, bro. 100%. So, guys, we'll leave it there on him. And, boss, let's move on now to Tobias Harris, Uncle T. Guys, tonight, Uncle T had 7 points on 2 for 6 shooting, all 1 from 3, 3 4 from the free throw line. 7 boards, 5 assists, and only 1 turnover, and 2 blocks to boot, boss, for Uncle T in only 22 minutes.
Yeah,
that's efficient basketball. What'd you see from Uncle T tonight?
Truly, if just one more of his shots went in, 3 of 6, I'd be totally happy with this because he also had 7 rebounds, the third most on the team, and we talked about how he kind of steps it up. 5 assists as well, and he actually led the team in assists at halftime. So he. Again, just stepping up where he's needed in those moments. All 7 of his rebounds were also defensive, and we've seen how teams can beat us on when they get offensive rebounds. So that's also super clutch. 2 blocks is huge. If he only, 6 shots is huge. That bad. He dribbled it in the post a couple times. He made his shots early. Again, I think it's just some of the younger teams just affect him a little bit, wear him out. And that's why, but luckily, the Wizards are like the youngest team in the league. So it's like, okay, we don't have to deal with them going forward. But solid night production, like you said, just in 22 minutes. And he's always someone you can call upon if we do need, to get the game back into focus. And I just feel like he really helped set the tone in the first quarter too, especially with the ball movement. So solid from Tobias. Again, if he was 2 of 6, if he went for 3 of 6, I would be thrilled. So
Tobias, I love Tobias Harris's game. Not even just his game, his game, because you got to be able to do it, but just his mindset. Because he was one of the guys I was hoping and expecting to step up offensively first. With Cade being out, Tobias is the Pistons' best half-court weapon.
Yeah.
So they're going to need him to be a guy who's going to shoulder more of that scoring load. And I thought, once again, the Pistons love to do this, where they try to string some possessions together by getting a Tobias score first and then running off that. Tobias score in the half court, get a bucket. Now we can set our defense up. Now we can start getting a slew of possessions going, right? So it was good to see that. They like to do that. But for me, he's a guy who just does what needs to be done, boss. He just does whatever needs to be done. We've seen before. We saw it tonight. But we've seen it before. Whenever JD is out, whenever Stu is out, or Paul Reed's out, you always see Tobias Harris rebounds go way up. You always see his blocks go up. You see him get a steal here and there. You see him just doing things that he's trying to plug whatever hole that we have.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about him. He's kind of a Swiss Army knife in that way. Even though he's not a great defender right now, he gave a lot of effort defensively tonight. A ton of effort, even just getting stops. So I thought he was really good on both sides of the basketball, and his ability to be able to be that steadying presence as a veteran for this team is important. And having the ability on the court to be able to kind of do a little bit of everything. That's what allows him to be able to grab boards or get assists or play deep. Like, he can do a little bit of everything. So if there's a weakness somewhere, if he can fix it, he's going to go ahead and take advantage and ownership of that. And that's the sign of a vet, because he's an offensive guy. He's a finesse guy. But he's like, you need me to do what, coach? Mr. What you need, coach? Okay. I can go grab some boards. I can go do this. I can go do that. So I just liked how he is committed to whatever this team needs us to do. He's committed and all in on doing that. So we're going to need more of that too.
Absolutely. And like you said, just so reliable on offense. And of course you would like for him to also, I think he was average. Last time we checked, he was averaging 13 points a game. So you want to see him hit his average a little bit more, but he doesn't necessarily average 5 assists. So that was also part of his offense tonight. And I think this will also be only 22 minutes. It'll be beneficial for the half court game tomorrow against the Warriors. They're not really,
I agree.
They're a little depleted right now. I could be completely wrong, but I don't think that they're really a running team. So, it might just be a little bit slowing down their offense might be a little bit better for him. It might be a better matchup for him tomorrow than the Wizards. So I think he can definitely still continue to make an impact there. And again, to have 2 blocks, and that's someone that we read on his defense, it shows that the effort is still there on both sides. He's still trying, even if he knows he's getting beat, even if he's still out there trying. So
yeah, I agree. Doug has a question, says, do you think being without Cade will preclude JB from experimenting with players like Chaz? We need to wrap this thing up. I think that may have changed. I don't know if that changed the plan or not. We know when Cade was available, they were trying to really get a good look at the shooting guards, who they had available. But now with Cade going down, it's like, all right, we got a lead in the East, but we got to make sure we hold on to this lead too. So let's kind of make sure we get some dubs on the way. Yeah. So it's hard to say, Doug, off of one game. I want to see how these next few games look with Cade out. We're going to get an extended look, obviously, but I'm going to hold off on that, Doug. I'm not really sure yet because I haven't really seen enough data, enough games to really see what JB's trying to do. He's still trying to get a look at those 3 shooting guards. That's why Javonte Green played 5 minutes again. Yeah. But it's going to be interesting to see how he goes about this as far as balancing that act of trying to experiment with what he has so he can know what he has for the playoffs, and also still trying to get wins because we don't have a huge lead in the East. We still have a nice size lead, but we got to keep winning if we want to hang on to it. So we'll see. It's a good question, Doug.
Yeah, and I would just say too, so it's kind of Sass has become the backup point guard now with Cade out because Jenkins is starting. So it's kind of between Huerter and LeVert, who also once again make good cases for themselves. And that's also why we saw less minutes from Javonte Green. I think the experimenting has just dwindled down because we talked about it last show. Like Javonte Green will be a part of this playoff rotation because he is incredible on defense. He's super reliable. And, when he gets his shot going, he can really be helpful and kind of just a dark horse on the court for us. So I think that we'll just see his minutes go down a little bit, but I think we'll continue. Like Huerter and LeVert were on the floor together a lot tonight. So, which was different from the last couple games. So we'll just see some different things. I still think that they're going to, they are going to narrow it down, but I still think we have a couple games of just seeing what works. They got adjusted even a little bit more without Cade.
Facts.
So
Facts. I agree with that. So we will see. Boss, let's keep it pushing. Let's go to JD, guys. Jalen Duren. Tonight, guys, JD finished with 24 points on 9 for 15 shooting overall, 6 for 8 from the free throw line. I'll take it. 11 boards, 1 turnover, 2 steals in 25 minutes. That's a lot in 25 minutes. A lot for all these guys in the minutes they played. What did you see tonight from JD, boss? Before he went out and left the game, because he left the game, the 4th quarter, I think?
Yeah, the end of the 3rd or the start of the 4th. Yeah. Okay. Closer to the start of the 4th because Paul Reed came in and played. Oh no, maybe it was.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Who knows?
People
end of the 3rd, beginning of the 4th, he went out.
Yeah. But she went to the locker room, but then I heard that he was back on the bench, so hopefully he's okay.
Okay.
So the most impressive stat for me tonight for him is that he had no fouls. Did not foul anybody. So that's impressive.
I mean, they ain't got no bigs to. Well, you know what? I'll take that back. Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
5 fouls on him.
Take that back. I'll take that back.
Resume,
boss. Go ahead. Take off.
Yes. And he did, foul the other day, but also his rebound split, I love 6 offensive and 5 defensive. I love that. And obviously he did big things. 24 and 11 is great. This is like his worst shooting percentage game in like 5 games. He's been shooting 80% over the course of the last 6 games. And now this is 60%, which is still obviously very good.
9 for 15 is your worst shooting game. That's wild.
Yeah. This month, basically.
That's insane.
Yeah. And then no blocks, but 2 steals. He was just really aggressive attacking Sar all night. He just didn't let him have any kind of leeway. So loved what I saw. A really great floor presence. They fed him a lot. Good game good solid double from JD.
Yeah, 24 points in 25 minutes is crazy. Like those are like he's putting up Paul Reed type numbers.
Yeah,
in more minutes. It's crazy. Alex Sar was back. They thought it was gonna make a difference. It didn't. It didn't matter. JD absolutely dominated him. He made him look like a little boy. And they're close to the same size, but JD is so much stronger than Alex Sar. You could just see it. He was just bouncing off of him. I think Alex Sar is 7 feet, JD 6'10". So it's not the height. It's just JD is just punishing him with his physicality and his strength, man. It was nothing that Sar could do. At one point, I saw Alex Sar literally grab JD by the arm, like official, call the foul, like trying to get, because JD was in position to get the offensive board. He muscled him, I worked him, and got in position. And Sar literally just grabs his arm to prevent the dunk. So once again, that's effort. You mentioned the 6 and 5 as far as offensive, defensive. The offensive board, that's effort. That's effort. So when JD is locked in, like there are a few guys who can really contain him.
Right.
And Alex Sar is just not one of those guys. JD went at him and got him at foul trouble in the first quarter early, and he never let up. He never let up. Camped out in the paint and scored that well. His footwork tonight, oh my Lord. His up and under move, his footwork around the rim is getting much better. Like now his right shoulder, left shoulder, jump hook, finishing left hand around the rim, back like reverse. His package is his bag is getting deeper and deeper. Like I'm expecting him in that painted area to score every time now. And it's not something I've always been able to say because he hasn't always had a left hand like that. He hasn't always had the fundamentals with his footwork like that. So his game is rapidly improving on the offensive and defensive end. For me, it's just more so the effort before this defense. But now, it's there. It's there. He was challenging shots. He was playing big. He was moving his feet off the switch and guarding 2 with this, guarding 2, 1 on the ball, 1 off the just doing a lot of stuff, man. A lot of great stuff from JD on both sides of the basketball. Still leading with the defense and then getting opportunities. Like JB says, he gives him 1 possession per quarter to go get it by himself. And now that Cade's out, he's going to probably have more opportunities per quarter to go get it himself. So once again, great 2-way play from JD, both sides of the ball. No complaints. None.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys, we'll leave it there, man. Marvin says, Kareem Abdul-Shaq Duren. I got called out. So earlier today, I posted and said that JD is the modern-day Shaq with finesse. And somebody said, don't you ever compare him to Shaq. I said, bro, it's the modern day. How many guys today, like JD, are bruising in the paint? Nobody's really doing that. He's pretty much the only guy. You could say Jokic maybe, but just moving guys out the way. Like it's only a few guys in today's game that are doing that. So I said he's like Shaq today, modern day Shaq with finesse. I even included the with finesse part, and they still got on me. So I don't know. I feel like he's the modern day Shaq of today's game with less contact, less physicality. So I don't know. Was I off on that? I felt like that was a pretty accurate description.
I agree, because the first ones that come to mind is like a Giannis, but he flails and yells. Like JD he's trying to score. Like he's not yelling, he's not flailing. They also is a different. I'm trying to think of other bigs like Cat. I mean, Cat just cries, so he's not down there doing that. I can't really think of one. And he's basically completely different style of players, but physicalness in the paint, making sure that you get your shot in the hoop. Yeah, that's similar and reliable. Like I just said 60 or his last 6 games, he's shooting above 80%. And most of that's coming at the rim because they know that they can feed him and that he'll grab it and then he'll get it in the rim. So I agree with that. He's actually, and he's actually reliable on the free throw line. So a little bit.
Right. So a little bit better. Low key, and he's 22, man. That's the thing. I'm seeing a lot of Dwight Howard. I think athletically I see Dwight, but offensively, JD already has a deeper bag than Dwight Howard ever had. Already. Dwight Howard didn't have the footwork like this. He didn't have the touch either.
Yeah, he just had the body.
Yeah. So I see a combination. But yeah, I wanted to get to this too. Lastly, on JD, Finey says starting centers in both games for the Wizards only scored 2 points. That's huge. That's defense.
Yeah.
Right. I know they didn't really have a center last game, but still, 2 points for a 48-minute game in back-to-back games. That's still impressive because it wasn't the same guy either. It was Sar didn't play last game and then he played this game. So still, the effort's been there. So we got a monster in our hands, guys. We got a monster truck in our hands with JD, man, on both sides. It's gonna be nice. I see Duren is a C-Web Shaq. Okay, Marvin. I feel you on that. Not mad at that.
I'm not even mad about Dwight. Like these are all centers that I'm like,
For
okay,
sure.
yeah,
Right.
I'm not mad about these comparisons at all. So
When it's all said and done, JD might be the comparison for other players. As opposed, he may create his own mold. The way we're saying he's Dwight or he's C-Web or he at some point when he's all said and done may be a mold that other players are being compared to. So we'll see.
If I'm a GM and I'm looking at guys coming in and I read their comp and their comp is Jalen Duren, they shoot up the list for me.
Facts.
So,
Facts.
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Y'all get it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, boss. I think that's all I have for JD. Let's go ahead and get to some reserves in this game.
I'm curious
boss.
about the poll though, real quick.
Oh, let's check the poll. Let's check the poll real quick, y'all. Let's see what you guys thought. So as I said earlier, we're not doing who you guys thought was going to get the belt tonight because I'm pretty sure it's going to be JD, at least in my opinion. So tonight's poll, guys, is who is the X factor in tonight's game, and the candidates. There's a lot of candidates. The candidates are Kevin Huerter, Caris LeVert, Paul Reed, and Duncan Robinson. Kevin Huerter is leading, boss, at 38%. Caris LeVert is at 28%. Who would have thought that Caris LeVert would be getting this kind of love, boss? Paul Reed is at 22%, and Duncan Robinson is at 12%. So this is probably one of the more balanced polls we've had where everybody had at least 10%. So I like that. Go ahead. Take off on the poll.
Yeah, I like that too. And, I think Huerter is the one to give it. So I wouldn't be surprised if Huerter gives it to LeVert because both of those guys shot it out. But I still like, obviously, the impact player. Didn't
Daniss win? Yeah, Huerter gave it to Daniss last game.
So Daniss has it. I still say Daniss giving it to LeVert.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if LeVert's had it yet.
So he hasn't had it yet, has he?
He might pass it on to a guy who had his best game.
They're probably going to tell him, put him aside like, hey, bro.
But still impact people,
For sure. He deserves it. No, he definitely deserves it. It could be a few guys. They might just be like, it's a wash. Let's keep the vibes high. Go ahead, let him have it.
Like I said,
he hasn't gotten it yet.
Paul Reed was my immediate thought, and looking at the box score, like he actually was the second leading scorer for us tonight with 17. So I think that's
Paul Reed.
Yeah, B-Ball was. But of course, then you got like Huerter and LeVert had their best games, and then Dunk, turned it on for us early to extend the lead and keep the lead.
Yeah.
I think he shot his three. To start the third, he made a three to be start off. So
in the first too, I think the first quarter too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like down to three, yeah, same way.
Yeah.
They were in the same set probably. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. So I agree with everyone on there. It's pretty. No one really has a huge lead, so all fair.
I like it.
Yeah.
Boss, let's go to some bench guys. And let's start with Marcus Sasser in this game, guys. Tonight, Marcus Sasser finished with 2 points on 1 for 5 shooting, 0-4 from 3. He didn't shoot well tonight. 1 board, 5 assists, and no turnovers.
Yeah.
Great sign for Sass in 14 minutes. What did you see tonight from Sass? Sass.
Yeah, not a great shooting effort, but all 4 of his shots were threes, so just couldn't dream it there. And then he had like a near ankle breaker. The one that he made was like a step back in the mid range.
Oh yeah,
his defender. And I mean that's just gonna come. Obviously his 3, I'm not worried about. It's gonna come back. Like 0-4 is nothing. Like I'm not even worried about it, especially in the 14 minutes that he played. But the step back is just going to be so nice. And I think Kelser mentioned it too, is the threat with that step back is that he can make it anywhere on the court and the defenders don't know when it's coming. Right. And that's going to be crucial, especially as him being, again, he came in as the backup point guard. And I know that because even though he was the last to be subbed in, he was subbed in for Jenkins and he took over there. So that step back is just lethal. It's just so fun to watch. The 5 assists too. Like I said, he was just feeding people. No turnovers is huge. Wow. So both of our points had no turnovers. That's amazing. Exactly. I mean, that's just a plus already. I don't care if it's against the Wizards. The Wizards are still NBA players. So that's just awesome. And so, yeah, not a great shooting night, but a great still offense night. And yeah, he didn't record any stocks, but I know he was disruptive. So yeah, not too mad about the stats. And again, his three wasn't falling, but the one that did fall was beautiful. He facilitated, he kept the pace, the spacing was good. So yeah, and again, only in 14 minutes. So, and with Jenkins did play the most minutes at 30, almost 34. So I expect that to be a little bit more equal. And it does go to show that coach just does trust Jenkins right now with that. And tomorrow the Warriors are with who they have right now. I haven't checked their injury report lately, but the last game I watched, they were pretty depleted. I think that Sass will have, it won't be as much of a disadvantage over, because they have big wings on the Wizards. They do. So taller ones. So yeah, that'll be a factor. But I proud of Sass for stepping up to the occasion once again. We're going to see more of him. Definitely, again, with the no turnovers. And like we talked about, he has to play out of position again. He has to do what the team needs. And while I want to see some of his threes go in again, which I think they absolutely will, he did a great job tonight when being called upon for that position. Yeah.
Helly Israel, we're going to get to this, bro. He's posted this like 5 times about Tolu. Trust me, we're going to get to Tolu Smith and everybody else, bro. I got you. So honestly, that was the shot. I don't care about his percentage of shooting the ball. I don't care. Like, because once again, the only true point guard on this team right now is Daniss Jenkins.
Yeah.
Right. He's the only guy who has effectively shown that he can consistently get guys in their spots, set the table offensively, just be the floor general. So we need a second guy who can do that, whether it's Caris LeVert, whether it's Sass, it needs to be somebody. And so for me, it wasn't the same thing I was looking for Daniss. It's the same thing I was looking for Sass. That's why I'm not going to be upset at Sass and happy with Daniss, because neither one of those guys shot well. But I thought they both played well. The point guard position, right? So that's what it's about. Both those guys, 5 assists, 0 turnovers. That's what I want to see more than anything. If you're playing tough defense, if you're getting guys good shots, you got a great ratio, that's all I care about. We have other guys in this team who can score if you set them up. So I don't care about his shot percentage. I don't care about any of that stuff. I thought defensively he did what he usually does. And I like how he's pushing the ball.
Yes.
Off every miss, he's trying to get it ahead to somebody. Eyes up every time. So that's what I like too. Because once again, it makes it easier for him to be able to play that position, because they can all eat in transition, right? So once again, the half court, he looks a little bit better, but I just like how he's continuing to push the basketball up to use his speed and for the team to use their speed, because that's how they're going to get it done, not with individual guys. So tonight was a great display for me from Sass, that he can, at times, when needed, be the backup point. I don't want to see it consistently, obviously, because we haven't seen a ton of it this year, but it's just nice to know. Hopefully he can keep doing this
right now.
But it's just nice to know that it's in him. It's in him.
Yeah, and it's absolutely, and like you said, just the speed. Because I always talk about, people always credit Jokic and they're like, he has crazy full court lobs. Jokic has crazy full court lobs because he doesn't have speed. So he gets it up fast that way. Sass gets it up with his speed and gets it off fast. So they're using their advantages, or they're using their skills to the team's advantage. And so I do agree with you. And again, I think we saw him a few weeks ago come in and play for, I think it was for Cade, or for someone. He came in and he was making silly mistakes, like picking up the ball in the deep backcourt and wasn't able to. No, Sass, and had to throw. Remember, he had a game where he just was making like.
Oh, I thought you meant tonight. Okay, got you.
He's like picking up, and so just from then, he's just kind of shaking that rust off, and you can trust him to make the right decisions. He doesn't look hesitant out there. He doesn't look, again, ending the game with no turnovers is big. So he is someone that, again, we'll at least see 15 minutes from him, but I expect it to be a little bit more evened out with Jenkins too. We'll probably even get some of them side by side, depending. Because Jenkins, he played 34 minutes, but that's starter minutes. So if we need Sass in next to him, that could be an option as well. So he's stepping up in a big moment and just trying to be called upon, and he did that well tonight for what we for playing a little bit outside of his comfort zone.
Exactly. And that's what I meant with Michael. Like, I won't say he's a low level playmaker, but I would say he's below average. But that's because he's a shooting guard. He's a scorer. So like when he gets put in position to have to do things outside of what he's used to doing, it's not always going to look great. But I thought tonight he was finding guys. He finding Huerter cutting to the hoop. Like he showed off a little bit of vision tonight. So once again, I want to see more. I got to see consistency before I'm going to be like this. Like, yeah, Sasser, he can do it.
Right.
He showed tonight he can. So I think with more opportunity, he can show consistently that he can. I just hope we see it. Because if we do, that's going to bode well for us while Cade is out for sure. We're going to need that. 100%.
Agreed. And I think also while we're just talking about being down someone and people are talking about who's available, I think we passed the thing where like you can't pick up people. You can pick up people that can play for the rest of their regular season, but then they're not eligible to play for you in the playoffs.
I'm not sure. I'm honestly not too sure about that one.
I
don't think we're going to add anybody else at this point.
I think once we pass the waiver period, I think those guys can be picked up and they can finish out the season, but then they can't play playoffs for you. I'm pretty sure. So there's just kind of no need. So yeah. I'm good with rolling what we got with the guys who've been here, who know what we're doing. Like Huerter already is trying to find his footing, and he's been here for over a month now. So I think who we have is who we should go with, at least for this year, just for consistency's sake. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Guys, let's move it on, boss. Let's move on now to Kevin. What is that? Velvet? Huerter, guys. Tonight, Kevin Huerter in this game finished with 14 points on 6 for 10 shooting, 0 of 2 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 5 boards, 2 assists, no turnovers, 4 steals in 23 minutes, boss. What did you see tonight from Kevin Huerter? I mean, in the stat that doesn't matter unless it's a positive, he had our highest plus minus at 26. The next highest was 18, and that was Jenkins. Like, that's just crazy. But first of all, 6 of 10 with no threes made. I love that because it means that he's adjusting. Oh, I won't say I love that for obviously I want him to produce threes.
Double-edged sword.
He only got 2 threes up, but he was doing, he was finding other ways to score in moments that we needed points on the board. So that I can appreciate from him. He tried, maybe he just didn't trust his 3-point shot tonight, but he was still getting it done in other areas. He had just a lot of in the early his like shots, because he got to the rim a few times late, as we saw some dunks, some breakaways, but he had a couple good touch shots right in front of the rim as well. Great defense. He had 2 passing lane steals in a row.
Beautiful too.
Yeah, just super handsy and disruptive. I loved his defense. He only finished with 1 foul as well. The 5 rebounds again is huge. We had 3 guys with 5 rebounds on the bench. And 56 rebounds is just nuts. Also, just like assists were all spread out tonight. That's just incredible, the effort. I really liked what I saw from him. He played very well with whoever was on the court. Again, I think we've just established that he just fit right into our scheme, and he doesn't harm us. He goes into great. He has really good just spacing, just awareness, a little bit of a higher IQ out there. We saw him. I think Devon mentioned it earlier, but we did get to see a pick 6 from him today, which is when he leads it in. And a couple times that he got it taken away, like he almost had that one go out of bounds and he controlled it. He got off to someone else. He was there on the fast break as well. What you want to ask for whichever wing is in, you want to hope that they run with you, and he was there to help out. So I loved it from him tonight. And of course, he only got only 2 shots up on 3. We want to see him start to hit those. But the positively is that he still got 60% and contributed 14 points because even though his 3 wasn't falling. So that's a little bit scary for everybody else, because if the 3 is falling, because again, just like I said with Duncan, if his 3 is hitting, then you're forced to go out there and guard him, then he can get around you. And he can still score in the paint. I think he's before he came here, he was like 86% in his shots within the perimeter. He just didn't take them all. So very good shooter.
There's a few guys tonight who didn't shoot great from 3, but still had really good games. And guys, this is why I was saying when he first got here, I know the trade was the trade, right? But I was just trying to look at him for who he was. This is why I was saying I thought with reps and time, he would be an impact player. I always say it, but I go back to Sacramento, Kevin Huerter. I know you tired of hearing me saying that, boss, but that version of Kevin Huerter is who I'm seeing right now. as far as giving you he does a little bit of everything for you. He's a really smart basketball player. He moves very well without the ball. He can put the ball on the floor and make plays. He can knock down shots. Just whatever the right play is, he's trying to make it. And defensively, he's just a really smart, instinctive defender. Like you can like the steal he got on the side on the baseline, he read that the whole way. He knew the pass was going to come that way, and he was just getting in position and got the steal. So I love how he plays. He gets on the glass, he gets on the board. He can board and push, like we talked about. Add him to the list of guys who can board, grab the rebound, and push the basketball. He's one of those guys too. He stays in front of his defender. He makes his guys take really tough shots. He draws offensive fouls. Like he does a little bit of and he's sneaky athletic on top of that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So the only thing lacking is the thing we thought we were going to get. Who would have thought if we brought Kevin Huerter who we thought could shoot the ball, and I told you he was shooting bad from three, that you'd be happy with how he's playing.
Yeah. That's
just a testament to the fact that he can do so many other things very well. So he is doing exactly what I thought he was going to do. I just thought he needed time. That's why the first few games he didn't play. He had to learn. Then the first few games he got a few minutes. And now we're seeing as he gets more time and more reps, he's catching on. He's smart. So now he's going to be fitting in like a glove, I think, come playoff time. Because he seems to be a very quick learner, and he's very high IQ player. Very high IQ.
Yeah, and I just want to get to this too, because I think it's fair, but I hear what you're saying, Sarah, but Kevin was brought here as a specialist, and he's not delivering on that skill. And I get it. But just like we say with Duncan, like if it's not working, what we're asking of you isn't out there, then you need to be contributing in other ways. So at least we have that from him, because there's plenty of guys that, like he's just bought into the whole mindset of JB of like, he plays like a Piston. Like you just need to be able to contribute in other ways. So yes, of course, we brought him here to help with 3-point shooting. We mostly brought him here for his contract, but we brought him here to help with 3-point shooting. and it was picking up. He was getting to a game, and it fell down this last two. He hasn't been hitting them. But the fact that, last game he wasn't hitting his threes, and we still said he did well out there, but he wasn't 6 of 10 for shooting. Like he's up that already. And of course, I hope he finds his shot, but I do appreciate that he can deliver in other areas, and he's not just, throwing up. Of course, I want him to get more shots up. I think obviously 0 of 2 is what it is, but it just seems like, a lot of these were on the fast break too, but it seems like he was looking for certain opportunities. Because maybe he just felt like his 3 was off tonight, because I feel like maybe 4 attempts is more of his range lately, 4 or 5. So there was a reason he wasn't able to put it up much tonight, but so I do hear you. I hope that he finds it, but he still contributed 14 points tonight, which is the same amount as our sniper,
our starting shooting guard
points. So
I still think he's the front runner right now to grab that backup shoot. I'm watching the minutes too, game by game of these 3. I'm seeing if some guys start getting more and some guys start getting, just paying attention to that. But I think right now he's the best natural fit. So I love what I saw. Like, it's not, once again, man, I got a lot of positives for a lot of these guys tonight, because they did it collectively. Of all the things you mentioned that we were frustrated by, we still won by 22. I know it's the Wizards, but still, you come out and take care of your business. They did that, and they did it as a unit in their first game without Cade. So that's a great sign for me that at least they're making the adjustment against a bad team, albeit, right? Got to play better, but they're showing they can do it. It's a great first step. So we'll leave it there, guys, on Kevin Huerter, and we will go now, boss, to Caris LeVert, guys. Caris LeVert in this game finished with 14 points on 5 for 9 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3. 3 balls been rolling lately. 1 of 3 from the free throw line. That's not great. 5 boards, 6 assists, and 2 turnovers for Caris LeVert, and a steal in 22 minutes, boss.
Yeah, our most assists, led the team in assists tonight. So gotta give him props for that. He had 2 early ones too. He was giving it up before he was shooting, which I super appreciate. So it was 2 assists under the rim, 1 to Ron and 1 to JD. Again, that's where I think for some reason that's like where he's comfortable with. I think he just kind of brings. I think he's just used to going under there and bringing some defenders with him and finding the cutter. So I think that's his best place for assists. It's honestly where he takes care of the ball the most. His 1 turnover was the one where it was kind of dribbling out. I think it was either a steal or it was a long pass, and the ball was just out of control, and he just couldn't get it in control, and then got doubled. So it was, a turnover nonetheless, where he could have slowed it down a bit, but it wasn't like I don't completely fault him for it because it was kind of an out of control play. But he had a 4-point play in the first. He missed the free throw. But the last thing I expected was to see him get fouled and make a three. Like that, the last thing I expected was him to get, because he was fouled on that three. Like
for sure.
It wasn't like Paul Reed's, which could have been the high five rule, in my opinion, when he fouled Vucevic.
Right. Or kicking his leg out, something crazy.
Right.
It was an actual foul.
It was actually fouled, and he drained that. For a guy who hasn't been consistent in scoring, that was like he might have a night, and he did. Yeah. He had a big three in the fourth to keep us up ahead. And I think that kind of just set us off and got us. One that got us the cushion where they took a timeout, and then we were able to just take off from there. So 5 of 8 and 3 of 5 from 3 that's beautiful. I mean, if that's what we can get from him during Cade's absence, and honestly just going forward, that's huge. So I loved his game tonight. Of course, we just want to see some consistency of it. But this is now a couple games where we've just been like, it hasn't been terrible.
It's good.
Getting better. And this was the game in moments that we needed guys to step up, like today, because we're like, Cade is not fresh on our mind, but we're also still down Stu. So we're down 2 big guys who are part of our team and part of our, like, why we're, have 50 wins. LeVert really stepped it up. So appreciated that from him. Personally loved it. Loved the LeVert game tonight. It was a blast to watch him. I feel like tonight his handles really did throw off the Wizards. They were like, what are you doing? He got to the rim a few times. Yeah, it was nice.
He was a little careless at times, but it wasn't nearly.
That's what I was going to say. You can't call him careless. He's care more now that Cade is LeVert.
Care more LeVert?
Care more now that Cade is LeVerted.
Care a little bit LeVert? All right, cool.
Yeah,
I got it.
Care more. Care more LeVert. Yeah.
Tom. Mic test. Detroit basketball. Tom, what were your thoughts on this game tonight, bro? Let us know. I got some comments I want to get through too. Marvin says, LeVert, Malik Sealy. Ooh. Rest in peace to Malik Sealy. He was a really good player, man. Tragic accident, man. But yeah, he was a good player for sure. I like that comparison, Marvin. Took me back a little bit with that one for sure. Super Morty Man says, second game in a row with 3 threes. That's impressive. That's good for him. And Heisenberg says, has some nice wraparound passes. And yeah, bro, the facilitating was much better tonight. Boss, it's funny to me that both, in my opinion, I thought both Caris LeVert and Kevin Huerter had the best game as a Piston in the same game.
Yeah.
I'm looking at their numbers too. I'm looking at the efficiency. I'm like, it's almost like you would think that they know they're battling for that spot. I'm looking at Huerter 6 for 10, Caris 5 for 9. Like, they really, like, I'm not saying they're going at each other, but they both, I think, understand the situation right now. And it's just making things that much more interesting, because it's like, I was saying a few games back, last game, if Caris keeps doing this, he's going to re-enter the conversation for that spot. And I think he did it again. So I think he is entering the chat. I still think Kevin Huerter has the lead as of right now. If there even is, I think there's something going on. I think there's a battle for that spot. But I think Kevin Huerter is still the natural fit. But I think Caris is doing whatever he can to bring the same level of impact, even if it doesn't look as good. Chris says, this is now 3 games in a row that I didn't want him off this. Right. Yeah, bro. Like, he's been playing better. He's been playing better. I got to give him credit. I did not think he was going to re-enter the conversation. I thought Kevin Huerter had it in the bag. And Huerter hasn't done anything to lose it, but I just feel like Caris LeVert is really just up in his game, man. He's playing better. I got to give him a lot of credit for that. So
I have to say real quick, because the last 3 games, we just basically talked about how they were all equal. We were like, oh, they're all pretty. And this was when Sass was involved too, not Moose's point guard position, but we're like, they're all equal. They're all bringing something different. So they are just like, I don't know. And we saw them on the court together tonight, and that seemed to help as well. So that's an option. Again, it was basically because I think we know that Wu is going to be in the playoff rotation, and they were just like, take a breather on this one. But the way that it's going, it would be, if I'm JB and I did have like an internal conversation or competition between them, of course, I think I would agree with you. Like, Huerter is still the front runner. But if they start stacking games like this, including LeVert, it's almost like, how do you pick? So which is a good thing. It's good that we have these guys that are are fighting for it. And it's just awesome to see both of them finish with 14 points. But truly, especially Caris, especially as a guy, he played 3 less minutes, but Huerter had 4 steals, but Caris had 6 assists, and they both had 5 rebounds. This is crazy. That's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. Tom says people were laughing at me when I said it was LeVert's time to shine.
They've been laughing at me all season when I've just
they've been getting on you like crazy. But it's funny because like you got to a point too where you were like, man, all right, I'm with you. And as soon as now he started balling out of nowhere.
That's what I'm saying. The minute that I was like, I mean, it was like he's lost my grace, and then you gave him grace. The next 3 games, he's just been.
Ain't that crazy? I should just start giving him grace because I was saying like after his first game back, like I'm not going to trip. You was like, what? I'm like, I'm not going to trip. It's his first game back. Got to give guys time when they come back from injury, and this is why I didn't know. But to his credit, to Huerter's credit, like both of those guys look better, a lot better as of late, and I think it's just the reps and the opportunity. And if he keeps this up, boss, this may be a 2-man race. I think it's going to be a 2-man race just because of what Trajan wants, the size, the defense, all that stuff, right? I think it's going to be a 2-man race, but I still who do you guys think? Like if there is a battle, because this is just what we're observing. It seems like they're not even a battle, but if there is a spot to be had at the backup shooting guard position, who do you guys think?
Pull up?
What's that?
Can you throw a poll up, or is that too difficult right now?
I can do it. Yeah, I can do it after I get to these comments. We'll start. I'll have you do the next box score. We'll do Ron or somebody, and then I'll throw it up. But let us know, guys, who you think is going to snag that backup shooting guard spot.
Yeah.
And we'll see what you guys think, because the poll is pretty much done for right now as far as the X factor. Everybody is saying that it's funny because it may be the same result as the poll. X factor for Kevin Huerter is 36% and Caris LeVert 29%. So it may play out that way. Funnier. That's actually pretty funny. So let us know, guys, what you think about that. I'll throw that up. Boss, go ahead.
This is just a random. I just checked real quick because I was curious because the Lakers won last night and then had to fly in and land today and played an early game. Luka dropped 60 points, and LeBron had a triple-double with 15 rebounds and 19 points.
Wow.
Against the Miami Heat.
Tonight?
Tonight.
My boys is hooping.
I had 5 steals too. Oh my God. I would be embarrassed if I would be embarrassed.
I don't know, boss.
They literally had to fly in and got in at 5 a.m. tonight. Their game ended at 11 p.m. Eastern last night. And then they had an 8 p.m. Eastern game. That's nuts. Sorry. I just had to check in the status of some games, and that surprised me.
Oh, no. Yeah, for sure. Keep me posted on that, because you know how, it ain't too many of us, bro, but it's always Pistons first for me, and then after that, it's I want to see LeBron do well, but keep us posted on that for sure. So who are we on? Ron Holland, right? Let's go to Ron Holland this game, guys. Tonight, guys, Ron Holland finished with 2 points. Only 2 points tonight for Ron. 2 points on 1 of 4 shooting, 5 boards, 1 assist, 1 turnover in 21 minutes. So he played a lot. Didn't really get to do too much. Boss, what you see from Ron tonight?
Yeah, I think he looked a little bit frustrated out there. And I think it was because his shots weren't really falling. I think he was getting contact because he was also, once again, we talked about how he seems to get called for fouls and being physical. And then when people are physical against him, it goes unnoticed. And I think that gets under his skin, which as it should.
Yeah.
But in the first quarter, he had a heads up hustle play where he was hustling and he threw the ball off of Riley. It was going out of bounds. And he threw the ball off of Riley to get intercepted. It was it just helped continue the tone of the game.
Yep.
So that I appreciated. And then his only basket was the one that LeVert fed him. And yeah, 5 rebounds is huge again, like to tie with Huerter and LeVert for most rebounds off the bench. It's just something that they've been challenging him to, and definitely something that's needed. Let me see the split. 2 offensive, 3 defensive. I just love the split. I love the split. So 1 turnover, but a solid hustle game from Ron.
There you go.
To not get any stocks though, like I think that's why it's a little weird, because only 2 points is like, okay, but he's out there for his defense, so then not get stocks. But he was definitely disruptive. He made it tough. Definitely didn't seem like he was detrimental to the team or anything. So if anything, he gets another chance tomorrow to build up those box score numbers. With the eye test was just hustle and grit. So
yep, that's what I saw too. Same approach, same Ron. every game. Sometimes it's going to result in him getting 3 steals and a block or 2. Sometimes it's going to be none because the ball didn't bounce that way, that particular game. But the effort, the identity of who he is always going to be there. You mentioned disruptive. He was very disruptive. He made a lot of plays. He was fighting for a ton of 50-50 balls and creating, just going after it and getting the offensive board. Exactly, Mike. Yeah, he was good in the boards, but he also played good defense. He played good defense. He forced some guys into tough shots, something that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but he played really good defense, making shots very difficult for guys, which allowed us to be able to get the board and get out and push. So he didn't have a ton of points, but he brought the intensity the same way last game. I think he had a much better box score last game as opposed to this game against this same team. The effort didn't change. It was just the ball bouncing this way, bouncing that way. But yeah, I thought he was. It's going to be that way for him sometimes. It's going to be some uneven box scores sometimes for him, because he just plays a very particular way. Yep. And sometimes the effort doesn't always pay off on the box score. Sometimes it does. So as long as he brings the approach, we know he's not a great shooter right now. He's not a great offensive player, but as long as he's opportunistic, as long as he's encouraging us as far as getting in transition, getting stops, and just playing tough and watching the fouls. He was forcing things a little bit early, like trying to get to the rim. I think it's just part of everybody trying to figure out how much more they got to pick up as far as with Cade being out. So there's sometimes he would get downhill and just force up some bad shots and kind of get blocked and stuff like that. But aside from that, I'm not mad at that. He's just trying to be aggressive. But as long as he plays the same way he always plays, which I have no doubt he's going to do, I have no gripes with Ron at all.
Yeah. So like Drake says, don't think we ask him to do literally everything. We just, like he says here, he accepts his role and excels at it. I think there's a ton of growth in every aspect. Just comes with time, specifically talking about this squad. Absolutely. And like I said, he's taken on challenges, like shooting threes, even though they're not consistent, is just something we just didn't see him do last year. Facts. So it's just it's growing slowly while still playing your game, just trying to add to it without changing it much. So
Facts. Exactly. Yeah. Guys, GVH says over 100 in here and 43 likes. Let's turn that up for Boston. Yeah, man, turn it up for us, y'all. Hit that like button, man. We appreciate y'all showing up, but we need y'all to hit that like button, man, so we can keep it going. All right, boss. Appreciate you, GVH. Let's go now to Javon. No, let's go to Paul Reed first. Let's go to B-Ball Paul in this game. We'll check on the poll after that. Tonight, guys, in this game, B-Ball Paul finished with 17 points on 7 for 11 shooting overall. 3 or 4 from the free throw line, 4 boards, 3 assists, 1 turnover, and 2 blocks in 21 minutes. So once again, he almost hit that point a minute meter and stat we always talk about, boss. What did you see from B-Ball Paul in this game?
Yeah, he had it for a minute when I think he got 16 points in like 15 minutes. So he had it. He was above it for a bit and then just kind of slowed towards the end of the game. But man, in the second quarter, he had a no-look pass to LeVert corner 3. That just tells me that
was nice.
LeVert hit in the corner. B-Ball was right in front of the rim and he just had no look. It was beautiful. I love that he came to the defensive run because he kind of just looked at the refs because again, someone mentioned his screen, when he comes off his screens, he can bounce because he needs to get stronger, but this was a shoulder. Like Vucevic threw a shoulder and Ron hit his head back. So that's why he was getting up slowly. He was frustrated. So B-Ball Paul came to his defense, and I'm totally okay with that. And the second, too, the Wizards went on like a 9-0 run, maybe more, and he had that emphatic slam to end the run. And the third, he had that chase down block on Watkins, and then
that was nice out of nowhere.
Maybe some of you guys saw it because I asked Deuce if he did, but I was just looking at him because I think I'm just getting a little bit queasy every time someone's on the ground. I'm like, please get up. So I saw him continue to go. And as it was a block, and then we pushed it up the floor quickly. So as the camera was panning away, Watkins pulled Paul Reed down. Did any of you all see that? I was like, what?
I didn't see it. Yeah.
Doing? Like it's near the end of the game, and this is now the second player to pull one of our guys down after 2 days ago. You inadvertently hurt one of our players. Like, stop. So maybe you guys can back me up on that if you did see
it. Said he saw it, act like he didn't try to do anything.
So I didn't like that. But then in the fourth, he had a block to start the fourth, and then he drew the free throws at the other end. Again, just coming out, setting tone. And on a Huerter steal and run, one of the first passing lane one, he threw it out to B-Ball Paul, and Paul just slammed it down. So Yeah, okay, you saw it too. Okay, I'm not imagining it because I'm like, maybe I'm just like spiteful today.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, B-Ball, incredible game again. Second leading scorer, 2 blocks. I think we had 3 people with 2 blocks. That's nuts.
Yep, I saw that too.
7 to 11 is beautiful, and it's crazy because it's like Ausar and B-Ball you see, and then it's Tobias as the other one. It's just like,
so random, like you wouldn't expect. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So loved. Just of course, B-Ball is just always out there putting up everything. He had a couple bad mid-range shots, a little bit off that he usually is.
Some makeable ones.
Yeah, there was way off just a little, but he made up for it in other ways. So when I see like, oh, you're a little bit off there, it just gives me hope that they're just shaking off some rust and they'll find it next game. Like it's just something to improve on and to challenge yourself to do better next time. We'll still see more B-Ball Paul minutes with Stu out. So I expect more of this. I think who's the Warriors big? Post? I think he was injured last game too. I don't even know if they have a big. So it'll be curious to see how they play tomorrow with that. But I could see him popping off. He had a fantastic game. Our second leading scorer, always hustling. Tonight, even he had like a different look in his eye. Like usually B-Ball like has a twinkle in his eye. He's smiling. He's having fun. Tonight, it felt like all business. I think he was just frustrated from the flagrant early.
That's what it was, because he doesn't usually get chippy like that, a confrontational like that. So when he does, and
I think it was just because we can't hear everything that's going on. We even don't see everything, just like the refs don't see everything. So who knows? But he looked angry tonight, but he showed it through his play, and I appreciate that very much. And I do hope that JD is okay. But if not, we got B-Ball move into this. If JD needs a game or two, we got him moving to the starting lineup, which I'm not mad about. And then Tolu as well, not mad about that. So, yeah.
In the words of, because like, it's just so contagious. In the words of Ron Ice, like, you're contagious. Like his game is just so contagious. Like his energy is so, it just rubs off on everybody. So, and boss, we got a chance to hear our customary Greg Kelser statement about B-Ball Paul. I love Paul Reed. Did y'all catch that? I love Paul Reed.
Always.
It's like every game he says it now. But I think he individually was the biggest reason the Pistons were able to put this game away in the second half. With his contagious energy. It's so contagious, man. Whether he was fighting for 50-50 balls and getting putbacks. It was one possession. He had like 2 or 3 offensive rebounds, got blocked, grab it up again, missed. Like he just was relentless. And after a while, that wears on guys. As the third big, that wears on guys, man. All game, that's what you're getting? Yeah, what you're getting all game. So I thought, just once again, to me, it's like whether he was doing that, whether he was posterizing guys in a break, it's just the contagious energy he plays with, and he just is relentless, man. I feel like my comments about Paul Reed are very repetitive. Yes, exactly. That's how I feel about Javonte Green a lot of time, bro. It's like a lot of these guys, which is what you want. You want consistency with guys who know the role. And they embrace it. And he does. He's a guy who knows he can play more somewhere else. He knows he can average more points. Deuce is going to get Reed for the foul on the 3-point shot. I was coming. I was coming around to it, bro. Y'all know I call out everybody who does it. And that's the thing, boss. I want to ask you. I asked you last show. I'm going to ask you again. What have we seen more this season? JD?
Yeah.
Or Paul Reed?
Because
let's see, like every game now he's doing it. Like he's making some unforced errors that he doesn't usually make.
I thought
it's like, I don't know if he's just getting caught, if it's just like bad situation, bad luck. But the last few games, he's on himself more because he's just making mistakes that he doesn't usually make.
I feel like yes, that's true, but also there is usually an error a game, whether it's forced or unforced, that you can rely on him for kind of one error that he beats himself up for. Whether it's even like shake that one off, B-Ball, or it's like you definitely shouldn't have done that, B-Ball. He immediately feels bad. But I thought that the high five was clean. He got it off with plenty of time before B-Ball hit his hands.
It was close.
Yeah, and
I gotta watch it again.
We had to waste our challenge on them just acknowledging Duncan's being pulled down.
Right.
It was still unsuccessful because it was a foul by Duncan, but they were refusing to call out the pull down. So, and then JD got the technical anyways, right? And so that it ended up just canceling out. But that could have been a challengeable one. But because even, Kelser was like JD doesn't even have to tell B-Ball why that was bad. And the only reason it was truly bad was because it was so far out.
Right.
Which can shoot threes. But it was just like, 4 feet behind the line, it felt like. And you saw JB go to the ref and say, that's awful. You can see what he said. That's terrible. That's awful. So I think he saw it too. Like, for me, it was just more like he got it off in plenty of time before there was any contact. So that's, I would have challenged that too. But yeah, you still have to, like, on the closeouts, you got to be careful, because here's the thing. If it wasn't the hands and say we didn't have a challenge and Vucevic kicked it out, then it could have been a flagrant. And then they could have gotten the ball back after a shot. So just, you got to be careful on those closeouts. So
you can't run directly at guys. That's the thing. Like, because if you get caught in the air, you're going to run into him. You gotta. He knows this already. Like, this is all stuff that all these guys know.
Right.
But yeah, like you already know, Mike. Everybody who does that like makes me I get so annoyed whenever I see that, giving up a 4-point opportunity. We got one tonight with Caris, but I just hate when our guys do it. It just really gets under my skin. So I gotta call it out every single time I see it. But aside from that, I thought he played really well. His game was just very contagious, and it rubbed off on everybody else, and it really got them going in the second half to put the game away, which is what I wanted to see. So good on Paul Reed doing Paul Reed things, man. Guys, let's go quickly now to our last couple guys, and we'll get to the Cade situation. Let's go to Javonte Green in this game, guys. Javonte Green, once again, only played 5 minutes. 2 points on 2 shots. 1 or 2 from the field, all 1 from 3, a steal, and some cardio in like 2.5 minutes. That's it. So I don't like whenever it's 5 or less, it's like incomplete for me.
Right.
So for me, good job, Mister. I'm gonna let the other shooting guards play tonight, so I can just chill, coach. That's where I'm at with him tonight.
No fouls, no turnovers. He got a steal in 5 minutes, which is incredible. Still making the effort out there. And again, like we said earlier, his minutes being cut isn't anything personal. It's just figuring out our offense more so, who we can rely on the offensive end going into the playoffs. So yeah, it was just nice to see him out there. He was out there early, got to rest the rest of the game, and he's always a presence on the bench. He's always one of the guys that's up and cheering. So that's nice.
Chris, there you go. I was looking for you, bro. I was trying to fill in for you, Mister. You know what? The Pistons won again, coach. Yeah. Come on. Shout out G My Cash. All right, guys, let's move on to Tolu Smith, who Heli Israel has been asking for since we started. Tonight, guys, Tolu Smith, he didn't play a lot either. He played 3 minutes. He had 2 points, scored his only shot, and had a board in 3 minutes. A nice setup from Daniss Jenkins, of course. That's his boy. The Motor City Blues connection, which was dope. Daniss always looking for his guy. What'd you see from Tolu Smith tonight? By the way, I didn't get the "can you whoa" for Javonte Green. Go ahead.
I have 2 boards for him, which I do remember. He had one offensive and one defensive. Because one of his baskets I think was offensive, or he got no, he wasn't fouled. But Tolu, gosh, I mean, I'm glad that we got to see him tonight again. It was nothing crazy, but I love his hair. Just makes him look even.
His hair is getting long, bro. Like when he came on the show last year, it was like a mini fro. Now it's like can't even get in the screen.
Right? I know. I mean, his presence out there is just big. And he is just like B-Ball. He's also a rebound magnet. So we saw him, in just 2.5 minutes. He only recorded 2 boards, but he was down there ready for them. So because he was down there, he was ready to get a tap in or something. So he's just another guy. We don't get to see him a lot, but like I said, we don't really know what's going on with JD. So if he needs a game tomorrow or something, I'm not nervous about Tolu Smith coming off of the bench for us at all. His size alone is just impressive.
And he's always going to bring it. A lot like B-Ball, even though different skill sets, different games, like he is always going to bring 110% whenever he's on the court. And that's what his role is. He embraces it. He knows who he is, and he plays his game. So, yeah, like you say, foul trouble, injuries ever come into play, which you don't want to see. But it's just nice to know we have, a security blanket and a guy can step in and just get some stuff done. Yeah.
There are a lot of teams that aren't. Wizards, for example. I know that they're really rebuilt, but there's just other teams that do not have, like the Bulls. Like, there's just a lot of teams that don't have they don't have
big, like a real footer.
2 reliable bigs, let alone 4,
Right. That's a fact. Kevin says, totally working on his big band. Right. Boom. Marvin says,
too. Oops.
Oh, go back. Which one? Which one you go to?
Heisenberg,
Heisenberg said, "I love Tolu Sport." Yeah, you're on the same page. Yeah, it's
Yep.
getting long, bro. He's drawing out the hair, quite the presence. He was on the court bright and early at 6 p.m. That's what's up. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, working on his Big Ben. Tolu hair equals love don't cost a thing. Love don't cost a thing, bro. For anybody who's seen that movie, Nick Cannon, Christina Milian. Yeah, so for sure, that's funny. Fear Tolu's, bro. Yeah, so hopefully he gets some opportunities, man. These last 13 games or so, he gets the opportunity to get in the court and show more what he can do. Who knows? He might need him in the playoffs. You never know. So I hope they carry him on the playoff rotation, playoff roster. We'll see. All right, that's Gilmore for all right, taking me back. All right, guys, let's go to Chaz Lanier. Chaz. He didn't play much either, I don't think, tonight. What did he play?
Nope, same amount as Tolu.
Yeah, 3 minutes. Missed his only shot with 3 ball. 2 steals for Chaz Lanier. Okay, in 3 minutes. That's a great sign for him. It's not a lot of time, but what'd you see from Chaz, boss?
He had 2 steals and one that he tipped up to Huerter. So
that's the one is that what you were talking about earlier?
I think that I thought it was a star, but it was actually because I was thinking about it. But he had 2, and I think that one was still credited to Huerter. So he had 2 steals and then the tap away. So bummed he missed his shot, man. It's because I keep only one shot, but it's just like I get so excited to cheer for him. It was a little bit
once
slower.
He makes one, I'm thinking he might get in a little heater, low key.
Well, he's been doing really well on the cruise. It's like, when we lose or we were struggling, it's usually you guys in the chat, the first ones to bring up, what about Chaz? He's popping off in the G League. And the G League is a whole nother world. But if he could ever get, in a rhythm, you can't just expect a guy to play 2 minutes randomly. Like, he didn't even know if he was going to play tonight, call him up and be like, go shoot your shot. But they did try to get him the ball, which I always appreciate. Yep. When these guys come in late, you can tell, because I think it was like a LeVert on the floor, B-ball. When these guys come in late, those guys, the bench guys want to help those bench guys.
Exactly.
Which I love to see. They're like, yeah, go get yours, get into it. So, just nice to see him. Though we played everybody that was active for us tonight. Always feels good.
Jay Chevy says he got that. Come on, Tolu. He got that old lazy bone from back in the day. That's hilarious. Hey, I might start calling him Tolu, and I'm gonna miss everybody. Smith, we'll see. Guys, let's keep it pushing. That's all we got for box scores for this game, guys. So, okay, boss. Now that we got that out the way, good win for the Pistons. They can focus on the game tomorrow. Now, guys, let's get to the elephant in the room with this conversation with Cade Cunningham, something that a lot of you guys been waiting for. So guys, let's get to it. So guys, today, was it yesterday? Today the news broke. Was it yesterday? Or today. I think the news broke, right? Okay. Today, guys, the news broke that Cade Cunningham has been diagnosed with a collapsed lung, and I think it's called the left lung pneumothorax.
Yeah, pneumothorax.
That he apparently, pneumothorax that he suffered when Trey Jones fell into his back and his rib when they were diving for that loose ball. And apparently Trey Jones, his knee caught Cade right in the ribs. So it was initially reported that it was back spasms, but upon further testing, it was determined that he has suffered a collapsed lung. So he should make a full recovery. There have been other players in the league who have dealt with this. Most recently, CJ McCollum. And Tim Bontemps actually mentioned this earlier. He's an ESPN writer for ESPN. He says CJ McCollum has dealt with this a couple times in the past, missing 3 weeks in 2023 and 6 weeks in 2021. 3 weeks from today, we'll be heading into the final weekend of the regular season. 6 weeks from today, we'll be near the end of the first round of the playoffs. So that's a pretty big window. We're hearing a lot of different things about how long Cade might be out. But first things first, before we get to that, boss, I just want to say this. I hope Cade has a very speedy and full recovery. Here's why I say that. Cade Cunningham, man, has been through everything you could possibly go through in his first 5 years of being an NBA player, NBA star in this league. And he is literally everything you want in a star franchise player, man. The way he stuck it out through the ups and downs, through the thick and thin. I really feel bad for him right now. Yeah. I really feel for him because this dude's worked his tail off. Like, he's worked his absolute tail off since he's been here. Never complaining, never pointing fingers, never throwing anybody under the bus, always taking ownership when a lot of guys with lesser circumstances, with lesser hardships, start crashing out. But he just showed his maturity. The losing streak, all the losing seasons, being the NBA's punching bag. Like, all that. And so for him to actually finally start reaping some of the fruits of his labor this season with the MVP candidate being in that conversation, the All NBA lot, best team in the East. It's just so
magazine stuff,
the GQ, everything, like all that stuff. Like it's just so unfortunate for him that he goes down right before the playoffs. So I know he's going to bounce back. He's going to be just fine. Health-wise, he's going to be fine. It's just terrible timing for him. Hopefully it's sooner than later. But I just really feel bad for him because I know that they've been working towards this moment, towards this point of the season all year. So it's just, I feel bad for him that he's going to have to sit out possibly the beginning of the playoffs. I really do.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So when I first heard about it, and then I just saw everyone dooming. Understandable. Scary. Something we didn't want to happen. And then dudes called me today and I was like, I just don't, after just like sitting with it, after hearing something, I was like, I don't feel like I was as doom and gloom. But
no, you actually picked me up a little bit because I was like, bro, I just felt for him. Like aside from the team, right. I just felt for him. Like, come on, man, right now.
Well, so that's where I'm at. And again, going back to the find the joy sort of thing, look at the positives. I think something too is obviously I feel for Cade. It's painful. What I've read about it, I'm not an expert by any means, but what I've read about it is that the reason it's a 2-week checkup is to see if it heals itself, which it has a really good chance of doing because he is a very healthy athlete. It heals decently fast, but then it's just getting back into shape. And there's complications like air travel because the altitude can make it tough. So for me, optimistically, the 2-week check mark will just kind of be like, this is okay. So it's healed. You don't need anything more sort of thing. I think if he doesn't start to feel better, even within the next few days, he'll try to figure it out. Cause it's a very mild case to where it can heal itself. And like the more extreme cases need like chest tubes, medical intervention, things like that. And he doesn't need anything like that. 4 to 6 weeks later on. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And so it just will become the terms of if he, can get back into his form. I think the biggest bummer is, here's what you said, because the timing sucks and it absolutely does suck.
That's it.
But it could be worse because imagine it happened game 1 of the playoffs.
Imagine being Pacers fans from last year.
Like, right. And so you got to look at some of these things like, okay, so if 3 weeks was CJ McCollum's time and that's the timing for Cade, maybe he's even better in 3 weeks and we decide to keep him out. Maybe he's better in 3 weeks and he gets to play he needs to play 2 more games because there's a 65 game for like the MVP, but you can play 62 games and then get like an exception for injury. If he can, because it's not like he's sat out because of load management or rest or anything.
He's been available most of the season.
Yeah. Right. So he can get to 62 games and be available for all NBA and things like that, which he just deserves this year. I think even the media is saying that, like, this is when the 65 rule sucks. And people are like, well, you guys all complain about Embiid, but the difference between Cade and Embiid is Embiid's availability is trash. And it has always been.
He's been healthy scratches for so many games.
For so many. Yep. And Cade, I just found out, guys, he hasn't played the Nuggets in Denver in 7 years. So that's nuts.
How do you even do that?
That's longer insane. Than some of these guys' NBA careers on our team that he has not played in Denver. But anyways, so that's why, that kind of discourse just bothers me because people are like, they only want you to change the rule when you're a player, but not me. When I see that Jokic is close, even though he's one of my players, LeBron, even SGA was cutting it close. Like some of these talents that do deserve to be recognized for their efforts. So I'm curious how the rule thing will go. I think a player vote should matter a little bit more than games played or maybe in combination. I don't know. Anyways, I want to see Cade get those accolades because he absolutely deserves them. This has been the best season. Guys, we just hit our 50th win. Like that's nuts. And I do believe in this team. It's a little messy right now because of our experimenting and because we're coming out of a slump. But again, after tonight's win, we're 6-2 without him. We went on a nice stretch. We won, 13 games in a row where he was out for 5 of them early in the season. We've got to get back to some of our flow. I definitely trust these guys. And I think I saw that if the Celtics go 10-3, we just have to go 7-7 to now it's
So yeah,
now it's 6 and 7. I don't know, 7 and
7 and
7.
6.
Yeah, 7 and 6. To
Or 6 and
6
7.
and
No, I
6.
think you're right. 6 and 7. You're
Yeah,
right, because he won tonight. You're right. Real
Yeah.
quick, just on that thought, because there was somebody who DM'd me some numbers, like
Okay.
you're talking about right now in detail. So really
Good.
quick, and I'll come back to you. So
Yeah.
this is from user. If you're here, you can shout yourself out. A_your on IG, and he said if the Pistons finish their final 14 games, including tonight, go 7 and 7, the Knicks would have to go undefeated the rest of the season to pass them. The Celtics would need to go 11 and 2 if the Pistons go 7 and 7. And the Knicks and Celtics, they still have to play each other. So all the Pistons really have to do is just go 500. Obviously, you want to be better than that, but if they go 500, as long as the Celtics don't go 11 and 2, then we're going to be locked up first place.
And I have to also say, because if you want to try not to. This goes to anything in life, just a Sarah-ism, almost a bossism. If you're gonna give attention to one scenario, you have to give equal attention to the other scenario. So if you're gonna give all your attention and be like, our season's over, Cade's not gonna be back, we're first round exits, like we're not gonna be able to finish out the season without him. That's one scenario. That's not fact. So another scenario is we maintain first place. We actually do okay. We do that. And Cade's back by playoffs. And another scenario is we actually just win all the games out. Like, go extremes. Like, we win all the games remaining without Cade, and it's beautiful and it's glorious. And we go to the finals and we win, So you have to give attention to all the scenarios, or else you get sucked into one mindset. And I think that's also why the find the joy thing was brought up with JB, because it's a mindset thing for his own players as well. The players don't want to sit here and be like, Cade's gone, we probably won't win this game, it's going to be really tough now. Like, no, they need to go win with a mindset of like, no, we're the dog pound, it's next man up mentality. There's no reason why we shouldn't win this game. We've done it before, blah, blah, blah. So there is a mental aspect to that as well. And I just also want to say right now, worst case is that Cade's not available first round. And I don't think that's going to happen, truly. Maybe a couple games first round, maybe. But that's worst case. Second worst case is that we fall to second place in the East. And that would suck after maintaining first place so long. I also don't really see this happening, but that's a worst case scenario. It's not like this injury has knocked us out of contention in any way. People I think are just jumping ahead to the point of like they saw an extended period of time and they were just like, oh, well, that's over. He's gone for the playoffs. Like he could literally be back.
They don't pay attention to us anyway.
Yeah,
so
exactly. That they've been saying first round exit even with Cade, but he can be back with 5 games remaining in the season and everything goes as planned. He will have to, be 100%. It might take a couple games for him to get back into his form, but it's Cade Cunningham. Like he can adjust quickly. If his shot's not falling, he'll facilitate. Like he's not ever detrimental on the floor for us, no matter what. Yeah. So it's just been, for me, I get it. I get why people are sad. I'm sad for him. I'm sad for the team. I'm sad for Pistons fans because it just seems like it's never easy. It's Detroit versus everybody, which apparently includes the universe. But I just implore you to obviously be bummed because it's sad and I'm bummed about it, but also we just won tonight. And I know it's against the Wizards, guys, but we've lost with Cade. We've won without Cade. Like a win is a win. It maintains our first place spot. It's another game closer to him coming back. It's another game closer to staying in the first place. It's another game closer to the playoffs. Like if you find yourself in a spiral, imagine the opposite too. Imagine what could go right. Don't just focus on what could go wrong. Focus on what also could go right. My advice to you guys. And it would also be my advice to the team and to Cade as well. You know that this is killing him. He doesn't want to be on the sideline. This is not what he wants. But like I said, it's bad timing, but it could have been much, much worse. We could have gotten this. This could have happened against the Hornets, our second to last game. And then
it could always be worse. It could always be worse.
Now you got to get through 2 rounds without him.
Right.
So
Let's take a look at what JB had to say pregame about Cade's situation.
It's tough for Cade to go through what he's going through now. How important, being with his team is to him. Doesn't make it easy. He's a huge part of what we do from a leadership standpoint. Obviously, the talent's there, but just being around him every single day makes people's days better. And we'll miss that. But it's our responsibility to keep pushing forward. He's there, rooting for us, pulling for us. Obviously, when he's around, coaching, leading, all those things. So it's everybody's responsibility to keep moving forward. Head down, 10 toes forward, and go to work. And that's what this team has done all year. It's everybody ticking up a little bit more. You're not going to be able to replace what he does individually, but collectively, if everybody just plays to the best of their abilities and plays to their strength and ticks it up a little bit more, collectively, we can get the job done. And we've proven that all year.
I love the confidence that coach has. I mean, he's always been like that. He's been like that since he's gotten here. But he leads by example when it comes to confidence that he has. And that gives the guys confidence knowing that he has confidence in them. Like, it really is next man up. I think people have just forgotten that 13-game winning streak. And Cade wasn't gone for all of it.
Right.
But it's been that way all year. It's been where we're dealing with injuries. We're just finding a way to get wins, winning in different ways, winning in blowouts, winning in close games. I think we still lead the league in crunch time wins this season as one of the youngest teams in the league. Yeah. And some of that was without Cade. So let's not forget how we got here. So I'm with you. Like, of course, it hurts. And for me, I hurt more for him than anything else because I still think we have a chance to, do some things. But it's just we can't forget how we got to this point. We got to this point finding ways to get it done regardless of who's played, leading with the defense. Yeah. That's how it's been all year long. So there's no reason to think anything is going to change now, especially now that these guys are more comfortable with each other and play with each other. So I'm not concerned about anything as far as that's concerned. I just would have loved in a perfect situation to see all these guys peaking at the right time as you get to the playoffs, and then boom, we're white hot, we're taking off, and nobody wants to play us. That was my pipe dream. It normally never goes like that because injuries are always a thing. It just was the timing for me. I was like, come on, bro. But it is what it is.
I'm glad you brought that up. The injuries are always a thing because there were some comments. There's a lot of great comments, a lot of supportive comments. And then there's, of course, the comments like I saw one today that just made my stomach churn of like, yeah, prayers to Cade, but as a Knicks fan, I'm thrilled. I'm dancing. It's like, okay. And to me, it's just more like, what makes you think your team's immune? Like, there's plenty of games left. And injuries can happen to anyone. And for me, just for the sake of basketball, I think Kendrick Perkins was the one we said it. The league needs Cade. The way that he plays, it has been fun and enjoyable. And he's a mentor to younger guys who want to play a clean game of basketball on both ways. So I think that's just it's another reason why it's just a bummer. But, if anyone's sending bad juju out, I'm almost just like, oh, there's karma for your team. Hopefully, I'm not wishing injury about anyone, but words, don't throw rocks at glass, But
I wanted I wanted to talk about something else regarding this because I saw did you see what Vince Goodwill said today about Cade's situation?
Possibly.
On ESPN today, he said that Cade's probably going to miss the rest of the season, which I think we all kind of suspected that he would at least miss close to the entire season. But he said the Pistons have a plan. He said they're hoping over the next 2 weeks, what the hope is that he'll make a full recovery over the next 2 weeks. And after that, he'll start non-contact conditioning. And then the following week, they want him to have a week more to begin full contact basketball activity. So that's the time frame they have as far as him returning for the playoffs. I don't know about you, boss. I think I have seen enough Pistons diving for loose balls for the next 5 years.
Oh my God, yeah, truly.
Oh my God, every time that happens, something tragic happens. But on a serious note, let's just be honest and be real about this. This hurts. Look, it definitely hurts. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Look, we're fine. I was immediately disturbed when I found out what happened. So it is disappointing, but I am not as disappointed as many fans are because of my expectation level coming into the season. All I wanted the Pistons to do this year, guys, was to get some playoff experience, and boss, same thing. Get playoff experience, get that under your belt, win a series or two. If they do that, that's a great season. Take a step. Build on last year, upgrade your roster in the offseason. Cool. Yeah. But my hope was specifically that. And I still think they can do that. I was never in the camp, and y'all know this, I'm standing 10 toes down. I was never on the camp of making moves this season because other stars around the league are out. I was never in that camp because guess what now? Well, now our star's out too.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen.
No.
So have we made a move to bring in that second scorer or something like that? You still ain't winning the championship without Cade.
Yeah.
You're probably not getting to the finals without Cade, if we're being real, if he's not there. So, and you would have given up assets and pieces, parts of our bench, unnecessarily to go for it all, only to still come up short because we may miss Cade for some time now.
Yeah, and then
now you got less assets. So this is why you don't make moves and you don't speed up your process just because of what's going on around the league. And the Pistons' patience has paid off because of that.
Yeah, and I think I'm glad you brought that up too, because a lot of guys on the chopping block, or people like Tobias was a name, because he had an expiring contract, all this stuff. But Tobias is actually, again, like he didn't necessarily score for us tonight, but I'm glad that we have him here to keep it steady for us. Yep. Like, what if we brought someone in and got rid of, Tobias, Ron, and some picks, and then we're gelling, and then Cade goes down. So all the what ifs and stuff. I think that's again also why, like you said, it hurts. It's tough. Be sad about it. Be bummed about it. Be mad about it. It's annoying. But if you but also at the same time, like there's literally nothing we can do. This is where it's at. Like JB said, it's just next and now it's just time to keep moving forward. It's time to get a job done. And so now what you can do is hope for a Cade recovery and also believe in these guys that have all contributed to our 50-point win season so far.
Yep.
So I'm not dismissing any feelings, because trust me, it's tough. It's not what we want. It does make sense, like what Vince said too, of 2 weeks and then just getting back to optimal so that when we do get into go to the playoffs. Because here's the thing, guys, we're going to the playoffs. That's a fact. Bottom line,
for sure.
We're having the first round of playoffs. So that's something we can already be excited about, because last year we got that, but it was unexpected. And this year it's been expected and it's locked in, So now it's just, rooting for him to get back to his conditioning, to feel as close to 100% as possible when we get there, and for the other guys to just really, lock it down. And I do challenge them. I don't think we do have a couple tough matchups. Like we have the Hawks, we have the Lakers who are on a streak, obviously. That was my other point too to do. So I was like, yes, we're losing Cade. He's a great facilitator and a great scorer for us, but we're not losing a guy who has to have to rely on for 60 points a night to win.
Right.
If Luka went down for the Lakers, even if they have LeBron and Reeves, that's more devastating in my opinion. For sure. But anyways, we have a couple tough matchups, but I do. So what our team does need to definitely lock in on is make sure that we win the winnable games, that we win the games that we know that we can win without Cade. We have to do that. And then, of course, challenge ourselves. And like I said, today we played great team ball. Everybody stepped up. And even though, like you said, everyone stepped up, but there were guys that were making threes. Like there's more that they can do, and they know that. Right. So I'm not, again, I didn't feel the doom and gloom at all. I was just more just like, okay, well, this is where we're at, and we've been here before. And like, I think I'm just too used to there's nothing I can do to change it. So I might as well stay positive and root for the guys that are trying out there.
I know I said it already. I just really want to reiterate Trajan Langdon's just his ability to stick to the plan. Yeah. And not deviate. Because could you imagine if we traded Tobias Harris and Ron Holland for MPJ and then Cade goes down and you're trying to win a ring? Or not even just him. Anybody else. Anybody that would have costed us valuable pieces that are important to this team. We go all in to try to get to the finals, to try to, this year, and we lose some pieces, and then Cade goes down. Now now where are you at? Now you're like, we need Cade back. We need Cade back. And you got him. Is MPJ or those guys going to carry you to the finals? Without Cade, probably not. Without a healthy Cade, probably not. And you lost your assets. So I'm just happy that Trajan Langdon stuck to the plan. He didn't give in to all the noise. Probably didn't even hear the noise. But I just like that we're still in prime position to do exactly what he said he wanted to do from the start of the season. And we didn't risk anything in the process just because other teams around the league, things are going on with them. I said it before. teams around the league are making moves around the league because they're trying to catch up to us. They
Mhm.
see how physically imposing we are. They see how big and strong we are. That's why Zubac is in Indiana. That's why Vucevic is in Boston. And then he got hurt, right?
Mhm.
So, like, teams are trying to catch us. So why would we then in turn react to them trying to catch us? Just
Mhm.
keep being who you are. So
Yeah.
once again, I'm just glad that he stuck to the plan and didn't do anything hastily just because of this season.
Mhm. Do you want
So
to go
important.
to Devon too when we're ready? Go through the schedule. Maybe
through the
go
live
to
schedule.
at least the upcoming games. Maybe not the whole
Oh,
schedule.
I got you.
It's
I got
still
you.
solid, but let's
look.
see how we feel.
I got you. Yeah, so this is the upcoming schedule. I want to ask you guys this too. So the Pistons right now, I think they're up 4 games, right? Because they won the night. So they're up 4 games on the Boston Celtics as of right now.
Mhm.
So yeah, we got beat the Wizards tonight. So we got the Warriors Friday, then we got the Lakers. So I'm gonna just go through these and I'm gonna just kind of see what I think they should, which game they should win.
Yep.
They should win the Warriors game
Agreed.
at home. The Lakers game is gonna be tough. I ain't gonna lie. They're
Yep.
playing really good basketball right now.
Yep.
To be realistic, I'll say that's an L without Cade. So that's go ahead.
But they did with the Nuggets losing and the Rockets losing, they did move up a couple games ahead of them. So
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if they rest one of the 3, LeBron, Reeves, or Luka, because it isn't a conference game and they could afford a loss if they felt the need to rest, because again, they're coming off of a pretty hefty back-to-back. So I have to see who's available that game, but either way, it's just going to be a little tougher.
I'm gonna still build it in because there's gonna be some losses through this stretch.
Oh yeah, okay.
But I agree with you. I agree. So yeah, so I have the Warriors as a dub, Lakers as a loss. The Hawks is gonna be tough, guys. The Hawks are winners of I think 11 straight. As of right now, they are rolling right now. Jalen Johnson is a real deal.
We could break their streak. They're
Without
really
Cade, that's gonna be tough. I ain't gonna lie.
They're hot right now, and I totally agree. I'm more in they're 50-50 for me. Like Warriors are like, we should win that. Lakers are probably 60-40 loss. Hawks are 50-50 for me. I think, the streak, they're going to keep up the streak, but this year's Hawks, we match up pretty well against. They have good, like Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Jalen Johnson are obviously incredible players. But I just based on how I've seen them play, because I've also seen them here in Denver, I think we even without Cade, we match up to them well, to be honest.
Okay. I mean, it looks a little bit different with Cade when you like Dyson Daniels is not gonna have to guard Cade. He's not gonna be cooked by Cade. So it's just like, I don't know. I've been watching some of their games. They look really good on both sides right now. They're hot. I mean, we could beat them. I'm gonna have that one as probably a loss without Cade, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Personally.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the win. I'm gonna go with.
Okay, so you got them at 2-1 so far. I got them at 1-2. So Pelicans game, that's a dub, but I am going to be keyed into watching certain players on that team. So I have 2-2. You got 3-1. T-Wolves is going to be tough. They're so iffy. Like you don't know from game to game what they're going to do.
Well, they've been gone. It's kind of crazy because we've talked about how Anthony Edwards has shot them out of games, or they just talked about how Chris Finch asked him not to take the final shot, and then he did and made it, but like it was just off. And now they've won 2 in a row without him in the lineup. Timberwolves are tough because this is our first time matching up with them this year because we have them twice in their West team, and they're Denver's kryptonite. So I can't compare because they always play their freaking best against Denver. But I think that I would say we win. If we don't win both, I don't think we lose both. I think we're more likely to win the one at home. So I'll give this an L because the Timberwolves are also fighting for the Rockets, Nuggets, and Timberwolves are all like within 0.5 right now of 4th through 6th place. So they're gonna be fighting.
Let's look at some of these comments real quick, and then we'll get back to this list here. Mike says, bro, I've been watching them. I cannot remember the last time I've watched so many games from a team outside of Detroit that hasn't won 25 games. Yeah. Like, y'all know how I feel about Trey Murphy. That's who y'all already know. But you're right. They are playing much better right now. They're playing much more cohesive right now. They
need the tank. They need the tank. So they got to start
low key. I actually, I'm cool with Troy Weaver's brother. Shout out to his brother. I DM'd him yesterday after Trey Murphy's crazy game. And I was like, man, I wish there was a way we could snag Trey Murphy. He just replied with a crying emoji, crying laughing emoji. So I don't know what that means, but but I just figured I'd put it out there and see. But that's my guy. But I would love to have him on his team. But yeah, they're playing much better right now for sure. They're playing much more forceful. Yes.
They
have
are,
a
but
lot of talent on that team.
they need to. They've won 2 in a row now against Kawhi and the Clippers.
Yeah.
So now they need to get back into their tanking form. So if they win their next few, they might be like, all right, guys. I mean, I want to see them play Trey Murphy, obviously, but they may
they better.
That may be a genuine tank game. Who knows? But I still think we win.
Maddie, I'm with you all the way.
Yeah, same.
We even talked about this for months since what? November of last year. We've been talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so okay. Anyway, so Pelicans, T-Wolves, and then Thunder. That's this is terrible now because Cade's not available. I really wanted to see both of those teams at full strength in that final matchup. No Stu, no Cade. That's frustrating. I ain't gonna lie. I have that as an L. Raptors. I don't know that may. I don't know. I want to say that's gonna be a dub, but we just lost to them with Cade. We didn't bring it, to be honest. We didn't play Pistons basketball against the Raptors, so I'm factoring that in too. So now it's like if we didn't play that way and we had Cade and we lost, what's it going to look like if we do play that way without Cade? Do we win? That's kind of my question. So I don't know about that one.
By then, that's a back-to-back off of the Thunder. By then, we should be a little bit more concise in our lineups. The Raptors, because that was the game that we played like 12 guys. We were a little bit all over the place. Wu barely played. Yeah. But the Raptors showed us their full hand. So, and the Raptors are still going to be fighting to try to stay out of the play-in. So that'll be an interesting one, but we can beat them. But that's another 50-50.
Right.
Yeah. And I think the next two for me are wins.
The T-Wolves and that's the home T-Wolves game. Okay. And then the 6. So I think I'm going to say like between, what is this? 12 games here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So between this on this schedule, and we can actually go to the bigger schedule here. Y'all know I got y'all covered. So based on this, I could see the Pistons going 500.
Let's see.
I think it's going to be tough without Cade to do anything more than that, considering who we have to play. Like we haven't played the T-Wolves at all this year. That's going to be 2 tough games. The Hornets we still got to play at the end of the year. The Thunder we still got to play. The Pelicans are crazy talented. So it's not, and Heisenberg mentioned that they're not tanking because I think someone has their pick. I think that's what he was saying earlier. I could be wrong, but I think Heisenberg made that point. I'm just going to find it. Yeah. Pelicans aren't taking because Atlanta has their draft pick. Right. So I don't know, but it's going to be some tough games, man. If Cade is going to miss all of these, it's going to be tough. I know we just talked about the next man up, but these are some quality teams we're playing. So
I have them winning 9.
Okay.
I think, Giannis will probably be done for the season. The Bucks we can beat. Pacers we can beat. Yeah, I have them optimistically winning 9.
Okay.
I think the tough team. I chose one of the Wolves games, the Raptors and the Magic and the Hawks. So those 4 are like iffy for a lot of people, but those 4 I'm putting in my win category for now. Because I think that especially by the ones later in the season, even without Cade, would have developed a more concise lineup and a little bit more consistency among who that is. So that's what I give that. And so now it's like, it's almost
you got
like
us going 9-3 or is it 9-4 over the next 13? Is that where you're at? 9-4?
Yeah. So, and that's optimistic. And now if it's like, I can, if we do end up being the Lakers on Monday, still possible. The Lakers are on a hot streak right now, but they're still the Lakers. They like to choke.
I'm gonna say 8-5.
Okay. Yeah. But so then if we win against the Lakers, I can, give a little bit leeway somewhere else. But there are some definitely must wins in here, like tomorrow night, the Pelicans, the Sixers, and then of course the Pacers at the end of the season. But who even knows who will be in, because we usually rest some guys. So So hopefully we go, we get this win tomorrow. We're on a 3-game win streak. I did see that the Knicks have a nice, easy schedule coming up. I don't see them still going 12-0. They need to go 12-0 to beat us and the Celtics. And the Celtics have the hardest of the 3 of us, I would say.
Schedule, and they got to go 11-2.
Yeah.
So and they play the Knicks. So we should be okay. We should be fine as far as holding on to that number 1 seed. More importantly, just just play Pistons basketball, bro.
Yeah.
That's all I want to see. Heisenberg has
Okay.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that at all. Shout out to y'all for showing some confidence in our guys.
Who's the one?
One, Mauser?
The one.
Sheesh.
I'm gonna guess you're thinking of the Thunder, which is
Probably.
fair.
I mean, that's I mean.
But they've been rotating their guys in and out. They have just such a deep bench, but they've been rotating their starters in and out
That's
too.
gonna be a tough game.
Who knows?
As long as we don't get blew out, because we're not playing our style, I'm cool.
If our defense is on point, like if we get back into that form, especially as we get more concise, then if our shots are falling, it's a little bit more even. They just have more reliable shooters. So
and yes, Devon, they got to go 11-2 if we go 500. So if we go,
which we already knocked
8 and 5, then they got to go perfect, something like that, right? But but
so the odds
are against them. Go ahead.
Now it's 12. So because it was 12-3. So now it's 11-12 with our win tonight, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
People Louis John says Boston, Tatum and Brown, you my boy, but Deuce. I mean, they still gotta win games. Like I said, as long as we take care of business, they ain't even gotta pay attention to what everybody else is doing. Much like the trade deadline. As long as they focus on them, don't worry about anybody else. Just win the game you're supposed to win. Continue to get better. I don't care what anybody else does. I'm not concerned. Just play your game.
Cade healthy. My goal for them this year, my hopes for them this year was just to win a playoff series.
Same.
So, if he is out and we win, if he is in and we win, that's all I want. And of course, it would be amazing to get further, which we absolutely can do, especially if Cade's back. We absolutely can get there.
Yep.
But I would just be thrilled because I was talking to a Knicks fan about that recently because it's like the Knicks fans, the Knicks have been good and we get into the playoffs every year, but they're just going to become stagnant. They're not getting to the finals. They're not winning cups. After this year, if they don't win it all, they got to make moves. Well, here we are 2 years ago. I was just like thrilled when we won 14 games. Like I was like, all right, like we did it. We won one, so.
Yeah.
You're just a little bit more like, you're sitting there being like, oh, that was a close one. I liked what they did here. They almost won, and now it's like, so in 2 years, we've completely flipped that where the Knicks in 2 years are exactly where they've been.
And going the opposite direction. Yeah. Let's get some quick comments, guys, and we will call it a night. Kurt says, OKC, Minnesota, Magic, and Raptors will be the losses. Okay. Boston still plays OKC, I think, twice. Well, they played them already, I think, last week, and they lost. Boston did, right? That was when Jalen Brown and SGA were going at it. So I think they have one more in them. But either way, it's still another one.
Yeah, I'll look it up real quick.
Okay. And then finally, let's get to some more comments. Win around. I'm cool. Make our big move. And the league is, yes, bro. Same page, bro. You already know what it is, bro.
That's called growth. That's called sustainable growth. That's called not selling your entire stock for one chance.
It's called patience and vision is what it is. I think Celtics will lose about 3 or 4. No real difference between 1 and 2. And that's a great point because the play-in is so unpredictable. You don't know who's going to come out of that. Who's going to be, between 7 and 10. If you're trying to dodge Charlotte, which we're not, but if you try to drop to 2 because you think they're going to go to 8 or 7, they still got to play to determine who's going to fall where within the play-in. So it's not like they fall to 7 and you can avoid them by going to 1 and playoffs start. No, the play-in makes it hard for you to try to avoid teams because you don't know how it's going to play out and how that's going to kind of fall. So I'm with you, bro. I'm with you for sure. As long as we get one of those top 2 seeds, home court, all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm cool.
Okay. So here's some,
at least. Go ahead.
Here's some stick out. So the Celtics have the Grizzlies tomorrow, who can be scrappy, as we've learned ourselves. Yeah. But most likely the Celtics will pull that one out. Then they got the Wolves. Then they've got the Thunder. Then they've got the Hawks. Then they've got the Hornets. Then they've got the Hawks again. Then they've got the Heat.
The Celtics?
Yes.
Sheesh.
And then they got the Bucks.
11-2.
That's a win. And then they got the Raptors. And then they got the Hornets again. And then they got the Knicks.
Yeah, and I go.
And then they got the Pelicans and the Magic. So they're much tougher than what's remaining for us, honestly.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. So once again, just focus on yourself. Focus on getting better and don't worry about what's going on around you. Come playoff time. Win the playoff round. Take another step. Prepare for the off season. Make your splash. Go in the next season. Let's go get it. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. So we'll see, guys.
One more
appreciate
positive,
you guys.
I want to say one more positive spin on this whole scenario is that we want our team to be as playoff ready as possible. Now, many of them have the opportunity to get in their best form and even add something to their game before it is playoff time.
Right.
They get more minutes, they get more time. It's just going to make our depth even stronger as we get a little bit closer to the postseason. So.
Yeah, and for you, Willie John, they're going to have home court at this point all the way until at least the second round. And we only want to see them win around. Once you get to the conference finals, if they're at 2, they're not going to have home court. But that's in the conference finals if they're at 2. Right?
Yeah, so we have it through the second round. Yeah.
So through the second round. So it's all about winning a series or 2. Those first 2 series, regardless of what happens at this point, they're going to have home court. Yeah. So that's not really the problem. It's like just take advantage of it. Unlike last year when they didn't win at home, learn from it. Take advantage of home court, which you've worked so hard for this year to get. Take advantage of it. Win that playoff series, maybe 2. If they do that, boss, I'm good. So we'll leave it there, guys, and we'll see how it plays out. But that is all we have as far as that's concerned. So, guys, really quickly, the Pistons head back to the crib tomorrow night to prepare, or they head back to the crib tonight, actually, to prepare for the Golden State Warriors tomorrow night at LCA, Little Caesars Arena. I believe Steph Curry is still out, boss. Is that correct from what you've seen and heard? I think he's still out for tomorrow.
He is still out. Also, I will be out.
Right.
I get to see the Raptors versus the Nuggies. So I get to watch some of the game, but I'll be gone for that. But yeah, I get
Nuggies. That's what y'all call them?
The Nuggies. Yeah, you haven't seen my chicken nugget hat for them?
Yeah, I've seen it. I forgot about that. Yeah. I'm never going to call them the Nuggies. They always going to be the Denver Nuggets.
You don't have to.
But you look there, so I ain't mad.
Yeah, Moses Moody is out. Stephen Curry is out. Seth Curry is out. Al Horford is out. Jimmy Butler is out. And then day to day is Quentin Post and Cryer. So it looks like Melton will be back.
JD?
So a couple,
JD? Say JD?
Right? Yeah. And Porzingis is back for them as well. So that is a test in the post. But then who's their backup? Because their backup can't stop B-ball Paul. I can tell you that right now. That is. So yeah.
I don't think Quentin Post can stop B-ball Paul, but that's another story.
He's questionable for Friday's game. Yeah, and so is LJ Cryer. I don't know who that man is.
So only Draymond Green, right? And Pajimski and those guys should be.
We don't have Stu for him to rage bait. What's he gonna do?
Right, and low key, Draymond loves Stu at this point. Like that's his. He's always big up on him, and he's moved past that old scuffle. He's supporting Stu every opportunity he gets, and I ain't mad at it.
Yeah.
But that's all we got, guys. So we're gonna end it there before it gets too long, man. We appreciate you guys showing up and showing out as you guys always do tonight. Make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe if you are new. And we hope you guys have a great night and enjoy your weekend. But we will be here back tomorrow night for tomorrow's game against the Golden State Warriors at home. So you guys be safe, and you guys know the drill, man. Detroit versus everybody. Peace.
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot, and I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think it's just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of King 9. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking hundreds, I hear you're ashamed. Talking that shop, you must want this way. Tryna tell ya, look at dog palm, mess around, find out, Tryna tell ya, look at dog palm, mess around, find out, For some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop my hill, cause I'm like that. When you're ready for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop my hair, cause I'm like that.